Good tea. Nice house.
Hello and welcome. I am Anti-Derivative Jill, and this is Plomeek Vulcan Teatime number 14. I'm joined here today with Scotty R37. Hi, Scotty.
Ahoy. How are you, Jill?
I'm doing okay. And Scotty's been able to join my new original series reviews that I've been having and my Friday shows recently. And I've been just so happy about that, but we won't be able to have that forever because of real life and stuff. So
That is true.
So I want to make the most of that time by drawing inspirations for ideas on this show from him. And I actually did nothing extra to edify myself on this topic. So
Me either.
great, this is going to be fun.
This
So
is gonna be great.
so for my 12th tea time, we talked about how Generations was your favorite Next Generation movie.
Yes.
Which had a terrible way for me to kill Captain Kirk. But today we're here to talk about a different senseless death, that of Tasha Yar, and more specifically, Denise Crosby as a whole. And when Scotty first suggested we talk about Denise Crosby, I had a very unenthusiastic response because I actually don't really like her that much. I like Tasha Yar okay. But I think Denise Crosby tanked her career because she hated being on Star Trek. But it feels to me like Scotty might have a different opinion, which is great because we agree on too many other things. And
It is fun. It is fun when we disagree.
yes, and I'll be able to cover the Star Trek parts, but Scotty says that he can handle the rest of her career, so this is going to be an education for me. For me, it felt like she was ungrateful for her role and decided that, science fiction was beneath her because she believed she wasn't getting, any big episodes or lines. And she didn't even let an entire season of the show finish before she made this decision. If she waited, she might have gotten some character development. Of course, I'm happy the way things turned out because Worf is best. But instead, she just really hated the show and wanted off of it. And later on, I'll read her full quote about leaving, but she essentially compares all of her time on Star Trek season 1 to the feeling of dying. So I guess if you feel like you're dying, you'd want to leave too. For me, her ego told her that she could do better than Star Trek, but she left and only later found out how she was not correct. That's why I'm interested to hear today what Scotty thinks of her career outside of Star Trek, which I know almost nothing about. The only part that
Well, I don't think you're being fair at all. I don't know when. Show me on the doll where Denise Crosby touched you.
I don't know. Maybe it started with the Rape Kings. I have no idea.
Could have been. Oh my stars. What's the name of her home planet? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
I'll look it up.
The only part that sways me to not disliking her so much is that Gene Roddenberry is much nicer to her than I am, according to her. So maybe I should be too. He said, "I don't want you to go, but I get it. I get why you're leaving. I was a young writer at one time, and I was hungry, and I was frustrated, and I get that." So Jean wasn't angry. Maybe I should be more patient with her short-sightedness too. I don't know. But I do have the 365 book by Paula M. Block, and so I'd like to read a little bit about how Jean envisioned Tasha Yar as a character, which illustrates how I saw her character too, and how Denise did not see this, except for maybe the last sentence, which is just a Jean thing. But she didn't see how great her character could have been. So here it is. Despite the fact that she's only 28 years old, Tasha has been selected by Captain Picard as the starship's security chief. One of the few of the crew who performs the same function both aboard and aboard the ship and off. Accounting for her almost obsessive devotion to protect the ship and its crew, Tasha comes from an unfortunate colony where a combination of harsh environmental change and fanatical leaders have made existence there a hellish experience. She managed to escape this ugliness as a teenager, but carried with her a desperate hunger for peace and order in life. Tasha's unspecified Ukrainian descent gives her an unusual quality of
She's
conditioned
Ukrainian?
body beauty. Right? I was confused by that too. Why is this in the Bible? Why is an alien being given
Well, no,
Earth?
but it's an Earth colony, right? And it's Turkana 4, I checked. But it's an Earth colony.
Oh, okay. She's not an alien. Okay. Yeah, right. She's human.
Yeah.
But
But
okay.
Ukrainian is very specific, considering that is never addressed whatsoever.
Yeah. With fire in her eyes and a muscularly well-developed and very female body, she's capable of pinning most crewmen to the mat, or being just as
Including
exciting.
Data.
Yeah, right. Or being just an exciting, sensual, and intellectual challenge to males who enjoy, win or lose, full equality between the genders. And yeah, that's the whole of what's in the book. And remember, it was the 1990s.
Yes, and Ukraine was really hot that year. Everyone was talking about it. Okay, yeah, I think that. Well, yeah, I guess her character. But the thing is that she was sort of pushed to the side. She felt like she was set dressing more than anything else. She didn't really get to shine past the first couple episodes.
Well, no, she did. I could have collected even more examples of this, but I found a lot of evidence of her doing stuff. I mean, Denise got way more actions and lines than her ever did, and was involved in
True.
way more landing parties and stories. And of course,
True.
there's no comparison in that. Nichelle had a way better reason to leave, and of course, we're grateful she didn't.
Yeah.
But no one was there to convince Denise Crosby to stay. So,
In what year? I think. I'm trying to find when Bing Crosby, because she's Bing Crosby's granddaughter, right?
right, and
she never met Bing.
oh, she never met her grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So he died in 1977 when Denise Crosby was 19. But wouldn't it have been cool if the person, and this is just hypothetical revisionist history, what if Bing Crosby had lived long enough to say, no, babe, stay on. I don't know why he's calling his granddaughter babe. No, no, Denise, you should stay. You should stay on that there Star Trek show. And that's a terrible Bing Crosby impression. But
It's okay.
that would have been cool, because then you would have had,
Yeah,
sort
that would have
of
been cool.
iconic individuals being like, no, you should stay. And yeah, anyway. Let's go back in time
That's
and
too
fix
bad.
it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yesterday's in price, but not yet. That'll
Right,
be
okay.
later.
Sure.
So there are more examples in this, but I just have a few of how Denise Crosby was not just standing there, with just saying "I captain" all the time. Even in the pilot episode, she was there, using torpedoes to blind the enemy during the saucer separation. And, that was a pretty glorious scene, and Tasha was there. And,
Yes.
and of course, the one everybody knows, The Naked Now, the most notable episode with Tasha Yar. Everybody wants to forget the entire episode except for her role in it. And I agree that Tasha and Data were the best part of the whole episode because of how she utilizes Data's fully functional capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
And she's pretty great in this, even though it's an awful episode that I really don't like. I mean, because it's a pretty bad recycling of the naked time from TOS. Which,
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's a failure because the actors were asked to behave out of character. But since it's the second episode, no one in the audience even knows, how their characters are normally. So they didn't have that frame of reference to see how they were different being drunk.
True. But I did I don't dislike that episode as much as you do. I think it's actually kind of cute and funny. Yeah, and you're right. At the time of its first airing, it doesn't make any sense, but looking at it in retrospect, it's just kind of a goofy romp, and I didn't expect it so early in
Hmm.
the show.
Right. It
And it's
shouldn't have
still
been
better
so
than
early
Code of
in
Honor.
the show.
Still better than
Yeah.
Code of Honor.
Yes. I didn't even want to mention Code of Honor. Had you not mentioned it, I wouldn't have mentioned it either.
But that's
What is
that's a
that?
Tasha
It,
heavy episode. No
yeah. I
Lieutenant
mean,
Yar, no vaccine.
just a really ridiculous kind of mitten glove mace thing that she uses.
That's poison tipped.
And they hop around this odd jungle gym. I
Yep,
don't.
with space lasers shooting to the sky. It's great.
No,
Actually,
it's
now that you
not.
mention it, I'm the only person who likes Code of Honor, and I'm
The
not
only,
racist. I
you know,
promise.
the only thing I like in Code of Honor is the moment Jordy and Data have, who, and so it's some kind of small thing I don't even remember, but it was good, and that was like a few seconds.
Now, is Arsenal of Freedom on your list?
Yes, but before I get to that one,
Okay.
I have Heart of Glory. And Heart of
Ooh,
Glory was one episode where Tasha had a lot of really cool stuff to do. It was a great Klingon episode where Worf's loyalties to the Enterprise are challenged when three renegade Klingons appear. And Tasha at first is tasked with leading the security team to meet with them. And of course, that's the episode where we get that great reveal of how Klingons send off their dead to Sto-vo-kor.
that was cool.
Hmm. And
One
the
of the
two,
Klingons was played by Admiral Forrest from Enterprise?
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Great. The two remaining Klingons then make friends with Worf, and they try to sway him to their plans. And once Picard learns that the Klingons are criminals, Tasha again has to step up with her security team. And there's a point where a little girl runs up, and one of the Klingons picks her up, and Tasha has to decide what to do there. And so she does alert the captain to a hostage situation. But fortunately, that's not a thing that Klingons do, apparently. And so Worf informs her that is not our way, because of course the Klingon lets the little girl go. Cowards take hostages, Klingons do not. And that's what keeps happening when I watch season 1. I'm sure if I comb through it, and I could find lots of little moments where she has stuff to do that maybe might be in the background but are actually very integral and important to the story. If I had more time, I would have grabbed all of those. But she gets some great scenes and lines in this episode, and she looks really great doing her security work and her action scenes. And even if she didn't, I personally would kill to be stuck on the bridge. And even when she is like, I don't know,
No, I
even
do. I do. I'm getting very much your sense of frustration, and I apologize greatly for bringing this up. But you find the actress to be just ungrateful.
yes, because even when she's asked to stay behind in case the Romulans suddenly appear in this episode, someone should have told her that this action that Picard was leaving her with was actually giving her a great responsibility to take care of the bridge. Instead, she looks on something like this as a slight or a sidelining of her character. And
Well, but every time that Captain Picard leaves the bridge and says, Lieutenant Yar, you're in command, then that means that we're following Captain Picard. We're not just going to hang out on the bridge with her. And so while I understand where you're coming from in terms
mhm.
of, no, come on, you're in the credits. You have a job. You're not the star of the show, so maybe you could be a little bit more forgiving of your lack of screen time.
Yeah, and I make the most of what screen time you do have.
Exactly. No, I get
And
it.
sure.
Uh,
And then oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, 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 no. Please continue.
Well, then I get to Arsenal of Freedom. But
Which
before
is
I
just
do, I did
a
not
hot.
say uh, I did not say hi to the chat at all.
Oh heavens, we just
I
jumped
just
right
started
into it.
I just started ranting about
Yeah, you are very passionate about this. You may not like it, but you have opinions.
I do. Hello in the chat to Mega Cropper. It's great to see you.
And yeah, I guess yeah, I am.
Yeah,
Well,
well, yeah, that's why I was sorry about that.
oh no, it's fine. Are you in a subway?
No, that's my doorbell.
Oh, wow. Do you have to go get
Yeah.
that?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
don't. It's
All right.
being gotten. And hello, Mega Cropper says Scotty R37 is going to be white knighting Tasha Yar.
Yep.
Yes, pretty soon.
That is
After
true.
I get through all of my things.
Yeah.
And Pop Culture Curator, hello.
Hi.
And hello in the chat to Matt G. Matt G.
Hit that
Cool.
like.
Yeah, hit the like, everybody. Sure. If you like it. If you don't, you don't have to.
No, you don't. It's fine.
Oh, wow. This is a first for my channel. I have never had Mr. Brown Alliance in my chat. Hello.
Hey, Mr. Brown.
And great to see you this morning or afternoon or whatever time it is for you. Hello to Paula Viter Gamer.
Ahoy.
Ukraine survived the genetics wars. Hey, that's a fair point.
I guess. I'm sure that there are one of the aspects of Star Trek has been its global diversity. I'm pretty sure that most gene pools survived the Third World War. Mega Cropper says Scotty R37 is sober. Oh, don't talk. Don't say it so fast. Paul Viter Gamer.
Tasha, go ahead. You read it.
Tasha Yar got the short end of the stick, died to the oil spill, and then got owned by the Romulans. True.
Yes, we'll get there. Mm-hmm.
But she was also in the best episode of television ever, which is All Good Things.
Oh, yeah. I forgot she was there.
Yeah,
hello in the chat to Captain Time Lord Spock. He's got a drink.
Captain.
That's great. And so he's working. Yeah, I know he got to work on Friday. Pretty soon that'll be Scotty too. To my sadness.
Well, let's just enjoy now.
Yeah, right.
You can't miss me if I'm still here.
Right. No, I don't miss you yet.
Good. Has Scotty R37 got the Playboy edition? I don't. But it's very interesting how she came about to do that. It's sort of an FU to the Crosby clan.
Wow. Oh, so they're getting into the things you're going to cover later. So we'll skip that.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Brian Hepburn. You're right.
Ahoy.
The chat's on fire. Well, probably because I wasn't reading the chat. And now that I'm reading it, everybody's going to get bored because I'm reading the chat. But I like the chat. I love the chat. It's so
Cam
cool.
Cam.
Hi, Cam Cam. He just stopped by to drop a like. He's got to run. Have a great day, Cam Cam. He's got to run. Hopefully not away from the bulls today. He goes running. He goes to the running of the bulls whenever he can. And
I was terrified. I can't do that.
Well, usually it's pretty safe.
All right.
Hello, Kronos.
Time Cockney. Ahoy, Kronos and Cam Cam.
Yeah.
There we go. See, we don't have to say it. Cam Cam did it for us.
Yeah. Great. Okay, so the Arsenal of Freedom.
Yes. Fantastic episode.
Or the Good Ship Lollipop.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great episode. I love this episode. They figure out the entire planet, population of the planet were killed by their own weapon systems. So the crew figure out how to dismantle it, and through salesmanship.
Mm-hmm. So good. And it's a great Geordi episode, too.
Mm-hmm.
When he takes command and does this. I think one of the few times that you actually see the saucer separation.
Yeah, it happens in the pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And in this one. It should have happened a few more times.
Best of both worlds and generations, I think.
Wait, it happens in Generations? Oh.
Yeah. When it crashes.
Right, it crashes. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
But yeah, and but see, and this is why, and I think that Tasha has a lot to do on the planet.
Yeah, she does.
While.
For a long while. Most of Tasha's moments in Arsenal of Freedom were action-based, but she also had lots of comments related to doing her job. And she even gets to make some great leadership decisions when she says only a few should go because whatever killed the people on the world are likely to still be there. Even though Riker's in command, she's making these kind of tactical suggestions that are taken very seriously by Riker. He just trusts her and agrees with her decision. And that's some greatness that she just completely missed is what's happening with her character. And even though most of the rest of her lines and actions were in the service of security officer, she does a great job leading Data when Riker's trapped in the force field. So even that moment where Riker's in some kind of storage thing, she has to step up and lead directly, even though she's still leading when Riker is capable. And I just think she's really cool in this, and I think Denise was dumb to leave.
Yes, I've gathered. But you're right. This is very. I wouldn't say that she's leading the episode, but this one's a very much ensemble episode because you get Crusher and Picard doing their thing in the hole, and then you get the action stuff with Data and Yar and Riker who gets like in that bubble for a bit. And then you get back on the ship and you've got Geordi. So it is an ensemble episode, but it does showcase her character quite well.
Oh, and girl is random thoughts. Hello, I was first in the chat, and Jill doesn't say hi. I see where I rank. Hey, I did tag you in the chat. I'm sorry I missed you when I ran through the comments earlier.
Ahoy, gorilla.
Yeah, you were indeed first. And hello, hello to Son of a Red Shirt.
Son of a Red Shirt.
Oh, am I?
Jill is ignoring Kronos. I'm not. Hi, Kronos.
Hi, Kronos. Yeah. Okay.
So what's next on the... Oh, you have to have symbiosis on there, don't you?
Symbiosis. Do I have symbiosis?
That's the drugs one, the don't do drugs, where she gets her don't do drugs speech.
I do. Yeah, right. The after school special episode. But I actually do like it. It's okay. It's fine. It's a good episode.
It's no naked time or naked
now. Yeah, right. No, I think it's better than that. But yeah, this is the episode where one society controls another by keeping them addicted to a drug that only they make. And it kind of has a slightly heavy-handed anti-drug message, but I still enjoyed it.
It was the 80s.
It was the 80s. Yeah, right. Especially in retrospect, as this idea is revisited in a more rich way with the Jem'Hadar being controlled by the Vorta in the Dominion. Oh, yes. So just like in Naked Now, where you like it better in retrospect, I like this episode better in retrospect.
Fair
given
enough.
That
makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And so, in Symbiosis, as security officer, she has to stop the aliens who can use this internal electrical charge as weapons. They got electrical powers that can zap you. And so she has to break them up from that. And even better, she gets to show off how intelligent she is, because she figures out how to connect the two transporters to be able to use the power from the Enterprise and the other ship to compensate for whatever is going on with the solar storms. And Denise had no idea how cool she was in this episode.
I gave her this present and she ruined it.
But, I'm glad she left because Worf shined in her position.
Yes. Well, and you know what? When she does leave, we'll get there when we get there.
Right. Well, she is leaving.
When?
Do you have any other moments that you liked, Tasha Yaren or the chat, before we get to
the death of Tasha? Get to goo. In terms, okay, this is a very short appearance, and I know that there are very different reasons for departures, but she kind of reminds me of Yeoman Rand. Is that when she was there, you liked her, but when she was gone, you didn't really miss her.
Yeah, agreed.
But I was thinking about it, and that is incorrect. but I can't talk about it until she dies.
Okay. I didn't consider to compare and contrast her to Rand. That's a good point.
But well, the careers are very different, and I know that it was very different circumstances in terms of
Yeah, absolutely. This was solely a career decision for
yes,
Yar, and there was no
Grace.
tomfoolery
Yeah, no,
going on.
Grace Lee Whitney was definitely she had a more compelling reason to
Yeah,
leave. It wasn't.
absolutely.
Yeah,
It wasn't just that she wanted to be a movie star or anything. So
right,
she had a
right.
real reason. Um,
So can we kill her now,
okay,
or do we have
sure.
chat?
Do we have chat? Yeah, well, you always have. I like chat. I like chat. Well, let's see.
We can take a break before she
Oh,
dies.
yeah, Matt G. Matt G wants to remind everybody about subscribing to Doomcock because he could use all the support he could get. No, really, I love Doomcock. I'm a mod on his channel, and he's my friend. And if you're not subscribed to Doomcock, what is wrong with you? Go do
What are you
it.
doing with your life?
Yeah, and if you do, remember to show up for Friday Night Frolics tonight,
Oh, right,
where
the
there's fun
singing, the singing and dancing show.
singing. Well, he doesn't dance. He
We don't
makes it
know.
very. No, he does. No, I do know because I listen to him,
Okay,
and he's mentioned that he does not dance. So if he ever had a DoomCon, everybody else can dance, but he won't be dancing. He's squashed that expectation quite deliberately. He
fair
he
enough.
hates dancing, and except watching women dance, he's okay with that.
Different strokes. Okay.
Yep.
Hey, Matt.
And Captain Time Lord Spock says, "When you're touching the ship, you're touching me."
We'll discuss that when we do the Leah Brahms episode. Okay.
I don't
And
know if
I
I'll
will.
ever do that episode, but
I know. I
booby
know.
trap.
What was the other
Um.
one? Galaxy's Child.
Oh yeah. Leah Brahms comes back to help. Um.
Well,
To
she
help
actually
the
shows up
baby.
in the second one. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And isn't that an awkward time for Jordy?
Hmm.
I wasn't expecting that. That's why I cracked up. But this is a serious stream, Matt G, says
Yeah.
Matt Cropper. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it is.
We're doing serious business.
Mm-hmm. And Captain
Uh,
Time Nerd Spock says,
don't
"Don't
do
do."
drugs. They have a freaking bar on the Enterprise. The hypocrites. Oh, but that's Synthale.
Yeah, that's Synthahol. You know,
Yeah.
that's why when Scotty comes on board, when Scotty
Scotty,
What
I
did
can't
Scotty?
change the laws of physics.
when Scotty comes on board, he is appalled by the Synthahol,
Mm-hmm.
and you know,
What? Synthetic Scotch. Synthetic Commanders.
and of course that's where we get the green stuff. Kronos says, "It better be the Enterprise E she is touching."
No, she's dead by then.
Yeah, she only touches the Enterprise C.
True.
Oh,
The Barkley episode. No,
she's
we can't. No.
huh?
Data couldn't get drunk. No, he explains he can get drunk. If you prick him, does he not leak?
Right. Oh, okay. And the Naked Now he
Yeah.
does somehow, which makes absolutely no sense. That's another
He.
thing I didn't like in that episode.
You don't like drunk robots? Oh,
No,
sorry,
I
androids.
do, but they
Okay.
don't explain it.
Yeah, he does. They explicitly say in the scene, it's like, but Data, how can this affect you? And then he explains the similarities in his or his biomechanics. And he says, like, no, if humans have pores, I have pores. Like he
Okay.
goes into a whole thing. He analyzes himself in
I
half in the
know.
bag.
Krona says, "You really love the chat." Rolls eyes. I do, but I'm not gonna. I'm sorry. Okay. I do love the chat. Okay. You don't have to believe me, but it's true. Krona says, "I don't like popular people, therefore I don't watch Overlord DVD." Oh, that's That's fine. I mean, he was, I don't know, he was a nerd and a geek and a dork, so he was definitely not always popular. This is new for him.
Well, you can dance if you want to.
He doesn't want to.
If your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, then they're no friends of mine. No, I'm joking. Sorry. I'm fine with Doomcock.
No, I love him. He's great, and he realizes that there are people out there who have been ostracized, and that's why he always tries to read from the regular chat, not just his super chats. Thank you. Anyway, but we're not here to talk about Doomcock. But I guess maybe we are. Why not? He's great. Philip Gaming, hello.
It is green.
It is green.
Is that, what is it, Aldebaran whiskey? Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Phil, says Kronos.
And it was Picard's whiskey, right?
Yes. Who do you think gave it to Guinan?
Mm-hmm.
Which doesn't make any sense because Guinan's not in the scene. Like, Scotty wouldn't know who the hell Guinan is.
Right.
I think that sort of shamed Scotty for a second, and he had a senior moment, and he's like, I don't know what he's talking about. I shouldn't say anything.
Yeah, well, he was busy reminiscing of his old love, so
he was,
and making me cry. So there was that.
Booby trap is the perfect example as to why to delete your browser history. Agreed.
Absolutely, that is the truest statement ever. And yeah, it was a very personal thing, so he should have.
I'm not going to say that because someone will take it out of context. Tasha did have a good time. She was there for a good time, not a long time.
Tasha had a good time.
I can't explain, like, okay.
But Denise didn't. She was dying.
It was like dying, which I think is a little dramatic.
That's what she says.
I know, but I'm seeing your side of the story here, Joe. Yeah, I absolutely sympathize with what you're saying. I do have counterpoints.
Yes, and we'll get there soon after I kill her.
Exactly. After we kill her.
Philip Gaming says, to know him is to love him. To love him is to know him. Y'all are bringing up the best quotes. I don't know why. That was the time that Data got possessed by that scientist.
Dr. Ira Graves.
Yeah, a good transhumanism
the schizoid
episode.
Man.
Right, yeah. I Hulk smashed it, says Cronus.
Outstanding news.
And hello to DJ Ronnie G. I met DJ Ronnie G on Nerdporo Lifeform stream about the Orville. He's pretty cool.
Nice.
He's got a channel and stuff. And Cronus says, I don't trust alcohol that it's green.
Oh, chartreuse is so good they named a color after it.
And hello to Lenrod. Hello, everyone. Gotta mow my lawn, but I'll be listening.
On that giant, oversized outdoor speaker system that you would find in Mad Max Fury Road. I remember it well.
I'm sorry to everybody who blasts our live stream to their entire neighborhood.
Hello, neighborhood.
Hopefully it's a Bluetooth headset.
And Friday must be lawn mowing day. I like a man of pattern, or person of pattern.
Mm-hmm.
I have a mechanical push mower, so it's very quiet. Oh, so you don't even have to turn up the giant speakers that loud. Wow, that green stuff kicks like a mule. Oh, yeah. Mega Cropper says, to be fair, I liked Doomcock's review of Battlestar Galactica and Star Trek 3 with the Critical Drinker. Oh, I didn't know that they did a stream.
Yes,
that's really cool.
Yeah, and they also did entire Raiders stream. Like, they were just going to talk about Raiders, but they ended up talking about all three movies, because that's what always ends up happening if you talk about Indiana Jones.
True. All three movies. I like that. Mm-hmm. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't talk about the fourth one. Aravik.
Oh, I didn't even think of it.
Yeah,
Maybe
no,
they
me
did.
either.
Maybe they mentioned it, but no. Okay, so
Let's kill her.
okay,
So Troy, what Skin of Evil?
right,
I don't know the name of the planet. Let's find out.
yeah. I wish she could have seen herself the way that I saw her character, as a strong, capable officer who is in charge of her security department. But she didn't. So we get this season 2 abomination, where Arbus, the oil slick goob, who was voiced by the guy who played Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I learned that. Well, at this point I had finally discovered Clobberin Times and Raquel and their Saturday Night Star Trek, and I was finally participating.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I learned that. And Clobby was so funny during that stream because he came up with the evil Eeyore voice and everything. I remember that.
That is funny.
Yeah,
I'd have
that's
to go
funny.
back and check it out.
You do, because especially when the episodes are bad, that makes the Saturday Night Star Trek even more fun. Which is a problem for Deep Space Nine, because so much of Deep Space Nine is just awesome or just good enough.
Yeah, but Move Along Home was a great Saturday Night Star Trek.
Exactly. My point.
So she dies on Vagra 2. And it's funny because when I looked at it the first time, I thought it said Viagra 2.
Well, that wouldn't help poor Armis.
No. Well, no. There are a lot of jokes there, but that's the only one I'm going to tell. But yeah, so Troy's shuttle crashes on the planet, and Armis is there. We find out that he was literally all of the evil removed from a species of people who abandoned him like a snake skin.
Yeah, my problem with that is that if they're so not evil now, why do they just leave evil there for someone else to be destroyed by?
Okay, then why did Kirk leave Khan on SETI Alpha 5?
Yeah.
That's kind of evil.
Yeah, or
Admiral Kirk never sent anybody to check on their progress. Just abandoned him on a planet, much like Armis.
Yeah, fair enough.
And so about, what is it? Like, it's not even that long into the episode. The episode's really only about half an hour, 35 minutes, and then it's like 15 minutes of funeral.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
So,
the funeral is another. Well, okay, so the Armis kills Tasha Yar because he doesn't care about other life forms.
Right.
And,
well, he almost kills Riker, and he yanks the visor off of Geordi and makes him like all Velma from Scooby-Doo around the place.
Yeah, and Riker gets buried in the tar for a while, and you don't know if he's going to die too.
But that's a really striking scene too, with Riker's face coming up out of the.
It should be because that printer ink was stuck to him forever.
Yeah, Metamucil and printer's ink. I remember that story. But, and, you know, this is an episode that has a lot of stuff that happens in Shades of Grey, the second season finale, the clip show. I just remember that more than anything.
Oh, the clip show. Oh, God. That was the worst way to say goodbye to Dr. Pulaski.
True story. But, and we'll discuss Dr. Pulaski next week. Did Dr. Pulaski throw away her career?
No.
Okay. Good answer. Show's over. Thanks, everybody.
No, she's great. I love her.
So you're okay. You're okay with Dr. Pulaski, even though she has a brief appearance, but
yeah, no, but she didn't ask to leave. She was like, oh, they brought Beverly.
She's like
back.
a supply teacher.
Yeah.
She knew she was only there for a season. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Wow, is that the Canadian word for substitute teacher? That's so
He's a supply teacher. Yeah. Well, at least it is in Ontario.
Okay. I like learning. I like learning other jargon.
Regional dialect.
Mm-hmm.
So Data, something's got me, and he goes into the puddle, and then Armis, evil Eeyore zaps her. She dies. They go to the default background to Windows 98.
Well, it's such an awful episode because this creature is nothing but hate. He's angry and lonely and wants everyone to suffer with him.
Yeah.
And he's created, right, because you already explained this part.
Yeah.
but that the aliens purged themselves of their evil and just left it there. But you're right. They, I don't know what else they do with it, but
What else do you do with it? Exactly. That is literally alien feces. What do you do with the alien feces? They left it on they dropped it on a planet and they forgot about it and hoped some leaves would blow over it.
and from what I understand about what they were trying to do with this episode is that Jean wanted her to have a death that would occur to a real security officer or police officer, which explains why her death was senseless and meaningless, because that is like reality.
Yeah.
I just think it was pretty poorly written, and then you can talk about Windows 98.
Talk about which?
The funeral.
Oh, well, Windows 98. And so, yeah, and it's like basically a hologram that of Tasha standing there and giving everyone very specific eye contact, heartfelt goodbyes. And it's like, wow.
And,
does everybody make one of these holograms?
Right. And also know exactly who's going to be at her funeral.
Yeah, that too. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I kind of just because I love Data, I kind of like it at the end when he starts, when you get to see that even though he doesn't have emotions, he does get the feeling of missing people. Like he's got the ability to know that somebody is gone, and it has an effect on him. So, but Data always makes everything better.
Well, and this is very true, because I think that the next time, and this is where I'm going to start volleying it back in the importance of Tasha Yar after she dies. The next time that she is brought up, I think, is Measure of a Man at Data's trial.
Yes, that's right. I didn't write anything on it, but you're right.
Sorry, you have writing on it?
No, I don't.
Okay. I don't want to steal your stuff.
No, go ahead.
But that's the next time that she is mentioned, and it is specific to whether or not Data is an individual and whether or not he is sentient, self-aware, conscious. And it is something that is in Data's court. Like, everyone talks smack about Yar and Data being intimate, but it is something that comes back.
Yeah, and it meant something to him. He doesn't...
Yeah.
He doesn't keep portraits of anybody else, just her.
Exactly. So there is a lasting legacy from Tasha Yar's death. Now, the next time that she is mentioned, I think, and I might be missing like one-off comments, but there is one-off comment that I do have. But after that, we get, legacy with Ishara Yar
her
on
sister.
Tarkana 5, I think.
Yeah, she's bitter about Tasha leaving her.
Yes. Hang on a second. Where I had the plan. Turkana 4, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, well, she just uses the Federation if she wanted to leave the Federation, and Data too. Like,
yeah, right. Data learns his lesson about
yes.
Trusting.
Yeah.
Not being so trusting, I guess. I don't know.
But that's also the entire crew is taken with her. Well, like the title of the episode says, legacy. And then I think the next time that I remember her being mentioned would have been, okay, you know the episode Ethics, where Worf gets his back broken?
Yeah, right.
And so Worf is contemplating self-termination because it's the Klingon way. He can't walk and he doesn't want to lurch about with electrodes on his legs. And Riker comes in and says, you want me to plunge this knife into your chest? And lists off a bunch of crew people that have died over the years. And says Marla Astor, which is the one when, the kid. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And then Tasha Yar. And that is sort of like a statement, again, with the lasting legacy of Tasha Yar and how the impact of her death remains constant throughout the show, let alone once we get to yesterday's Enterprise. You obviously have something to say about yesterday's Enterprise.
Yeah, obviously I do, but I want to say hi to a few new people in the chat here.
Yay.
We've got Eric Sander. Hey, Eric Sander.
Hey, Arabic. Oh, your mechanical push mower is very quiet.
And
Oh, Jill, please.
Captain Time Lord Spock says, Doomcock turned me on to The Expanse, which is the best TV show ever.
I don't know how many seasons it is. It seems like it's daunting at this point to get into.
Yeah. I think it's 4 seasons. And
Yeah,
that's
that
it.
seems like
Over.
Oh, that's it? It's over? 4 and out?
Yeah, it's
Oh, that's
over.
not bad. Have you
It's
seen
over.
it?
So, no. Well, I've seen season 1, but
Okay.
apparently it gets better after that. So I think there's only 4. Was it 5? Somebody in the chat tell me. I'm totally not not hip.
I'm gonna not hip. Did you just say you're not hip?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. That's awesome. Nerdporio Lifeform says it's 6 seasons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I know nothing. Cronus says,
That's even worse. That's like, oh man, that's an investment.
The Expanse is very rewatchable, according to
Well,
Cronus.
maybe
You
I should get over it and
that's
watch
probably
it.
true because I watched this season 1 and I'm like, I don't really care about these characters. But then I guess once I watch the rest of the seasons, I'll go back and appreciate season 1 even more. Just like
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine, actually.
Yeah. Hi. No bad DS9 episodes. Totally embarrassing rating. Anything less than a B minus.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going through the rewatch with the Saturday Night Star Treks, and so I'll let you know. And I guess if you want to find out which ones are the bottom of the barrel, keep watching on Saturdays.
Right. Yeah, and it's some really great stuff. I think Deep Space Nine is a wonderful series.
Mm-hmm. They don't have Shades of Grey, though.
Oh, and Nerdporal Lifeform says Diana Muldaur wanted her to be Bones, and it didn't work. I think it didn't work because they didn't. Bones kind of had he was rough, but he was also kind of fatherly too, and they didn't give her that. They didn't give her that sympathy that to add with the curmudgeonness. They just gave her one half of it, and so it didn't. I think that's why it didn't work.
And the thing is that I enjoyed her dynamic with Data, who
And
she was completely dismissive of, Worf,
Yes.
who she had the utmost of respect for, and oddly enough, Chief O'Brien.
Mm-hmm.
Without Dr. Pulaski, you really don't get Chief O'Brien at all.
Oh, really? She was integral to Chief O'Brien. I'd like to hear more about that at some point.
Yeah, no, she's the one, she's like, what's going on? I don't understand. And it's always Chief O'Brien who says to her.
Oh, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
That's it. That's all. But I'm just saying.
But yeah, I do. That does remind me of one time where they're teasing each other about the teleporter.
Yeah. And again, that is lending credence to the idea that they wanted her to be Bones. And that's true.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah.
Tiger Stripes.
Welcome, Tiger Stripes.
You guys.
Hey.
So what's the consensus on Denise?
I don't know. What is it, Jill?
Oh, well.
I think it's, of course she did.
Yeah, of course she did. Yes, that's what I've been saying.
Even she would admit it. I'm certain. I feel pretty sure she has.
If you think that, make sure when we're done here to go rewatch the first beginning of this live stream because you'll like it.
All right then.
And yeah. we're going through the character of Tasha Yar first, and then I'm going to get to the career. And yes. I'm saying, no, she didn't. She did not throw away her career, in my opinion, as a fan. If the actor themselves says that they feel that it was a missed opportunity, and if they had stayed on, like we haven't even talked about yesterday's Enterprise yet. We haven't gotten to Sela.
Mm-hmm. Well, she didn't. Jill didn't
right.
call
We're
it
not
throw away her
yet.
career. She said tank her career.
Tank her career.
Yes. Yeah. To throw it away would be to walk away from it, and she did not do that.
No, she didn't walk away. She tanked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Tiger Stripes.
Oh man.
It's a difference.
Now I feel ganged up on.
Boom, boom, pow.
Even
I
always love a good Wesley joke. From the chat here, Brian Hepburn says even Beverly needed a season away from Wesley.
Oh,
that's yeah.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, Dr. Pulaski and Wesley have a bunch of scenes together too. That's a Wesley heavy season.
Yeah. Well. Wesley is a different live stream.
Yeah, we can talk about Wesley next week.
There's too many live streams we have.
I know.
Okay. Denise Crosby left. TNG, so she could be in. Okay, yeah, right. To be in Penn Cemetery, but we'll get to that.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget she was in Deep Impact as well.
Of course. I haven't seen any of these movies.
No, I know. That's why it's going to be boring for you when we get into the career, because I'm going to be naming a bunch of movies you've never seen.
And oh, the only people Nerd Part of Lifeform says the only people who went to the funeral were the main characters. Heck, even Wesley.
I know,
right?
She has that thing where it's like, I'm sorry that I missed the man that you'll grow up to be. And it's like, that's kind of weird. Although
Like, did she have it?
No, she did the don't do drugs speech to Wesley, so it makes sense that she would have some sort of character interaction.
I guess, but did she have a separate holographic speech for her family? Like for her sister?
Yeah, it's weird.
Nerd Part of Lifeform says the data part was brilliant. Makes me think of Isaac when he talks of Claire's absence affecting him. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think of it. I think I've always thought of Isaac and Data and their ability to make relationships with people despite not having emotions. It's great.
Well, and here's a question for you, Jill. What if they had, let's say that Yar survives, okay? Would they have developed the relationship between Data and Yar the same way that they did, like with Isaac and Claire?
No.
You don't think so? So that they wouldn't have boyfriend and girlfriended?
No, I don't think so.
But Troy there was girlfriended.
Okay, you're right. There was that episode where Data gets a girlfriend, and of course, Tasha's not there, so there's no possibility of that. Do you think Tasha would have been that character in that episode that instead of that ditzy girl we get?
Jenna DeSora.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just curious. And so do you think, but Tasha Yar is Data's one true love then, right?
Well, he can't love, but his one true would miss her a lot.
Well, it's kind of funny.
Her a lot.
When I read the novelization for Star Trek Generations, because of course I did, they modified it, and when they put the emotion chip in Data for the first time, his first words when gaining emotions is Tasha.
Oh, really? See, this is why I need to read all of these books in Generations. Wow.
Who was the author?
Incredible.
Oh, I will find out. It was so long ago.
That's a really nice moment. I would like to know who wrote that.
I know, right? Because I mean, it sounds to be like the book for Generations was way better than Generations.
But the thing is that it also has, I think it still has the original ending. J.M. Dillard wrote it. I think it has the one where Soren shoots him in the back, though. It's not the bridge on him.
Oh, hello in the chat to Rennie A.
Rennie!
Rennie,
woohoo! Now I'm on the map with Rennie here. No wonder I'm getting good numbers. Rennie. Hello in the chat to Todd Michael Jasinski.
Don't even try. Hi, Todd Michael. It's good to see you, pal.
I tried.
Does DS9 have its sub Rosa? Yes. I would say that would be the one where they go to Ryza and everyone is scantily clad and making with the love, and Bashir and Lita break up.
No, J.M. Dillard is Jean Kalogridis, according to Wikipedia.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
How many times does O'Brien bust his shoulder? Every time the plot demands it.
He also hits his head on a lot of consoles.
Well, and he does go to prison for 20 years and kill his cellmate.
Yeah, he's got his, instead of inner light, and instead of getting a nice family, he gets to go to prison. It's almost the same concept.
Mega Cropper, stop shipping.
Oh. No, Rennie is with Tyron Beard, who lives in Australia.
Yeah, I remember. We've talked about her Australian dude. I'm no match for that boy.
Oh man, I hope that he gets to make it to Texas one day soon.
Chat wanted pop culture curator. I thought I saw pop around here.
Pop culture curator, he was in the chat, but he's at work. Mega
Oh,
Cropper,
right,
I'm so
right.
sorry. But you know,
I'm
if you want pop culture curator, make sure to join us on our Monday and Tuesday streams where we stream about the animated series on his channel on Monday and the original series on my channel on Tuesday.
What's the animated series episode this week?
This week, our planet is missing.
Oh, one of our planets is missing, right? And then we're going to
I have no idea what's going to happen
on Tuesday?
No. Corbomite
maneuver.
No, right. I'm going in production order. So because of you reminded me to go to go through Star Trek history correctly. And I appreciate
Well, some
that.
people would disagree, but I do appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Someone saw Denise? There was a Denise sighting? The Nordporeal Lifeform says, I saw Denise at last year's Vegas convention. Not a large line. I didn't even bother with her. Boo. Didn't you want to get your copy of Pet Cemetery signed?
Well, you know, yeah, I had a TNG cast photo, but William Riker couldn't make it. So Denise Crosby was the stand-in. And there you go.
Did the line get shorter?
No, people already paid their it was too late. It was too late. They're like, dang it, Tasha's gonna be in this. What? Oh well.
Boy Wonder says everyone in the chat is awesome.
Yeah, and I don't really even hate Tasha Yar as a character. It's just the actor. Well, I don't hate the actress either, but you know. Anyway, I just think that she was, you know, didn't realize what a great thing she had.
But I think the absence of her is felt. The legacy is there. And even if that's just the writing, like even her death has ripples throughout Next Generation.
Yes. Also, hello to Boy Wonder. Wow, that's a new person in the chat. Great to see you.
I like the name.
Mm-hmm. Some peeps out don't seem to have emotions and get married. Yeah, there are some people who don't have emotions. Yeah, it's true. And then they end up finding emotions.
Yes, the character's name is Claire. She's a doctor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kronos says Cisco's wife gets married to a robot in the Orville. Yes, that's correct. In the last episode, spoiler alert.
Well, the season finale of season 3. We'll hope #Orville season 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if we get a season 4, I hope there's more exploration. Go ahead, Tiger.
I understand there's a petition now for season 4.
My petition would include a 5-year mission to explore and get away from Earth. Kronos says, please don't throw virtual bacon at me.
Just dodge, Kronos.
Well, Matt G was giving bacon because Rennie is here. Rennie loves bacon.
Rennie is the bacon queen.
Right. And so she clarifies. He was throwing bacon at me, Kronos. I am the bacon queen. You are.
Bird of prey.
Yeah, Kapla. And Kronos asks, can we have some bacon scraps? Good on
potatoes. You were just saying you didn't want anyone to throw it at you.
Yes, do make up your mind, please.
Yeah, I know. He's jumping all over the place with the bacon. And Kronos asks, how do you prepare Plomeek soup? All I know is that it's very plain.
Let's see.
And Tuvok does not like it when Neelix spices it up. Grilla's Random Thought says, hey, Jill, do you talk to Tokyo? We are putting on a weekly trial for being an annoying little prick. For Wesley. Oh, Wesley on trial for being annoying. And I have to defend Wesley?
That's difficult.
What?
Okay, looks like Rennie is cutting out. Bye, Rennie.
Okay, bye, Rennie.
Bye, Rennie.
I will think about that. Thank you. That is quite the challenge. especially for what my actual feelings on Wesley are. But you know what? It is an interesting take to defend something that I would not want to defend. So I will consider it.
Like
Thank
Riker
you.
Good
in Measure of a
debate.
Man.
Good debate
Mhm.
topic.
Yeah, it is a good debate talk. Right, exactly. Like Riker. That's exactly the example I was thinking. You read my mind. How did you do that? So
Defending Wesley. And that action injured you. Anyway, I can't do the full quote. I don't remember, but Data at the end of the Measure of a Man, when he says to Riker, "Thank you. I know that sucked to do that, but if you hadn't, they would have killed me anyway."
it's true. That would have, yeah, the Maddox would have messed him up.
Yeah, made him into B4 or something.
Oh God, what
I
a
know.
horror.
Excuse me for just one moment. I'm going to get some more Ractigino.
Okay, great. Then I get to
I
talk
have
to
no
Tasha.
idea what that is.
Coffee, Klingon coffee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Good to know.
I went to the Star Trek convention and they had some spiked Ractigino.
Ractigino.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That's very cool.
Um, so far I was talking about how the first season of Tasha Yar, and we got
Right.
through her death scene and everything. And Tasha did get a terrible death, but the actress wanted to die so she could go be a movie star. She believed that she was just standing around saying yes, sir, the entire time, but that's not exactly true. As we've given a few examples
Mm-hmm.
of that. And so here's Denise Crosby's whole quote on the matter. Her quote was, "For me, I was miserable. I couldn't wait to get off that show. I was dying. This was not an overnight decision. I was grateful to have made that many episodes, but I didn't want to spend the next 6 years going, aye, aye, Captain, and standing there in the same uniform, in the same position on the bridge. It just scared the hell out of me that this is what I was going to be doing for the next X amount of years. I think you have to take your chances. I was really young. I didn't have to make house payments or put kids through private school or support people. I was free to make those kind of decisions. I'd been in acting school, really dreaming of playing all different kinds of things. Whether it'll happen or not, you don't know. But you've got to give yourself a chance. God forbid you go through your life thinking, what if? And if you want to give an example of, so that was that quote. But I mean, we were talking about the Orville earlier, and if you want to give an example on how to give a character a good send off on the show, they did that with Alara. And instead of being murdered, she was given a debilitating condition that made her return to her planet, which was a nice way to do it without precluding any cameos that the writers might find for in the future. But of course, we know that Denise does get some too. So, since you're educating me on her career after Star Trek, my understanding was that she left and couldn't really find much of anything and decided that she wanted to come back. And so the writers had all these ideas already about the episode for yesterday's Enterprise. And her asking to come back actually made it into a good episode. And I think it's one of the best TNG episodes as the series gets better in season 3. And only Guinan realizes that something's changed when the new timeline is introduced. So apparently, El-Orians can travel, their minds can recognize shifts in timelines and changes, but still have some sort of premonition that something's different. In this new timeline, Tasha Yar is alive, and Guinan knows for sure that she shouldn't know her. And not only that she should be dead. And of course, we all know the story that the Enterprise C was supposed to go and defend the Klingons against the Romulans. And even though they're destined to fail, the Klingons really appreciate the effort. And that whole thing is supposed to lead to the alliance between the Klingon and the Klingons and Federation. So in the Khitomer Accords. So I love that Tasha in this episode because it was so well written. Her romance was really well done, as was her resolve to do something else besides dying at the hands of Armis, which was a very nice touch. To mention that this time she didn't want to die a senseless death.
Yeah, it's much more brutal this way.
Mm-hmm. And her scene with Guinan gives her the chance to do that when she tells Tasha in her other timeline that she knows that she died a senseless death. The writers were very good to her here. Even with her security officer's training, she seemed more advanced in her banter with Castillo.
Shooter McGavin.
And of course, she asks to transfer to the sea to stand at the tactical station when Captain Garrett dies. And she'd rather die helping stem the tide of war than have the empty death that Guinan hinted at.
Yeah. Which is really tragic considering what happens to her when she goes back in time.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But for the purposes of this
mm-hmm.
episode, we don't find out about that until later.
Right. Actually, I have to step away for a minute for Jaloja.
Okay.
So we'll vamp.
Yes,
we will.
Please.
Yeah.
And what a play.
Oh my God. Indeed. So I don't suppose while I was before I got here, anybody mentioned David Caruso's name.
No one mentioned David Caruso. Why would you bring it up?
He is the prime example of someone who thinks they're going to leave a hit TV series and become a movie star.
Very good point.
And then realizes, oh my God, what a terrible misstep.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's an interesting parallel. But it's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
I wasn't that big of an NYPD Blue fan.
I was. Yeah, it was a great show. Really excellent writing. And I'm not that much of a cops and robbers kind of a person. It's not my forte, but I did love it. I watched it for quite a while. And certainly after his departure as well. So
was it Jimmy Smits who replaced him?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And he was so good. Yeah.
Well, yeah. And sorry to bring up Jimmy Smits, but did you ever watch The West Wing?
Yes, I did. I was a big fan.
He was really good in that last season when it was Jimmy Smits and Alan Alda.
Mm-hmm.
That was great.
Wonderful writing. I love that dense, chewy writing.
Aaron Sorkin.
Yes. Yeah, he's wonderful.
And NYPD Blue was a Bochco show.
Yes,
right?
It was, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is fun. This is not even obscure. This is just television from the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, it is just TV. Oh, Bochco and Milch. And I really love David Milch.
Oh, what are some of his works?
Deadwood, notably.
Oh, wow.
Yes, which I was a big fan of. And still am.
Deadwood. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
You can hear all about it on Tiger Stripe and my new podcast about... No, I'm just...
Deadwood are us.
Yes. The R is backwards, of course.
Yes.
No, I never really saw that. And there was another one.
You never saw Deadwood?
I never saw Deadwood.
Wow. It set the mark for so many series that came after it in tone, in tenor.
Well, and I was thinking about, speaking of Star Trek, how Cole Meany was on that show Hell on Wheels about laying the railroad. So that's also sort of the same
era.
Yeah. But yeah, I did hear. I've heard nothing but good things about Deadwood. It's not that I've been avoiding it; it's just that I haven't bumped into it yet. Now let's see. I did have. I wish I could do the chats, but I think that's the price of Jaloja.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm back. What chat do you want?
So, no. I just have, before we move on, because I just want to finish vamping. Serve to your favorite Vulcan in bed. This Plomeek soup recipe. Apparently, it is a carrot, onion, and celery soup.
No, who sent that?
Oh, there's a version in a 70s cookbook.
For
Oh, cool.
Plomeek soup?
Yes.
Yes, I figured somebody made some soup at some point, so
Hmm.
that's cool.
Anyway, I'm not going to give the whole recipe because it's fictional, but
I think on one of my very first Plomeek tea times, I gave a potential recipe for a Plomeek tea that somebody came up with. So yeah, it makes sense to bring up soup.
So is a Plomeek a vegetable?
I didn't know there were going to be a quiz.
I guess it would have to be, because aren't Vulcans
Right?
vegan?
They're vegetarian, yeah.
Yes. So yes, it definitely wouldn't be meat. They
Yeah.
they definitely don't eat any sellets or mateas or anything. Masha, or whatever they are. Lamachas.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, vegetable stock. Okay. And apparently heavy cream as well.
And
Well, that makes everything better.
yeah.
Cup of onion, cup of butter, carrots, or 4 cups of carrots, 5 cups of celery. All this is chopped. 4 cups of vegetable stock, a teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of salt, and half a cup of heavy cream. And you can add tofu if you wish.
Tofu optional. Okay.
Tofu optional.
This is after they met the Federation and learned what tofu is.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if the Vulcans deal in bean curd.
They do now.
They do now.
It's their biggest import from Earth.
And we got Velcro.
That seems like a fair trade.
Yep.
And thank you to Boy Wonder, who says, "Love this channel. Star Trek is awesome. You guys are amazing. Thank you. You're amazing."
Thank you.
Yes. No, you're amazing.
You're breathtaking.
Let's see. Hello. Oh, he's saying hello to everyone. Okay. Hello.
Oh my.
And actually, okay, so I actually thought he was serious. Gorilla was saying that I was going to defend Wesley, and here I was already in the back of my mind trying to formulate any sort of potentiality for performing such a massive feat. But then he says,
and it departs from our topic, but
Yeah, I know.
I can defend Wesley. I
I know.
think of a couple
I
things.
really can't. I mean, I
Really? You
probably
really
could.
can't?
I probably could, because there's one episode I like, but Gorilla says
Which one?
just the one where he takes the Starfleet examination and has to face his
Oh, yeah.
fears.
Yeah, that's the one where he yells at the guy with the webbed fingers.
Yeah, and that was cool too. So then,
Get out of my way.
yeah, he should have had more moments like that where he wasn't afraid to step up and do something drastic to win. But no, he just kind of peters out after that. Gorilla's random thought says, "Just kidding on Wesley part, but Chakotay, I believe, is next." Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to brush up on my Voyager because I don't remember a lot of Voyager. That's actually more difficult because I don't know. But I'll talk to y'all. Talk to y'all later.
I mean, and I will point out here that Wesley was Jean's middle name.
Yes.
Yes.
And Wesley was almost Leslie. If they had
Leslie Nielsen?
like if they had cast a female instead of a male.
It's interesting.
DJ Ronnie G says, "Alorians and Guinan had so much potential. I believe the anti-Q voodoo magic was retconned."
Well, I don't even want to bring up.
Me neither. I don't want that to be brought up either.
Okay, never mind then.
I just want to
Everyone
think.
in the chat knows that we don't like it.
Right. Well, yeah. I just want to pretend that whenever Guinan does that crazy thing to Q with her hands, that's still a mystery.
She doesn't get to drink out of a bottle and scream like a banshee to summon something that never arrives.
Lawn mode. Wow, you're so much more productive than we are. No,
I hope
great job.
You caught them in a tin can and released them instead of catching them in the lawnmower.
Yeah.
If it's the latter, I don't want to know.
I think that that mechanical push mower needs a hosing off.
Yeah, he caught 5 toads along the way. Yes, I do hope they're okay. And Chrono says, "Rest in peace, toadies." And
Of
Lenrod
course
says,
you did.
Yay! Nobody
course
died
you
in the
did.
making of this podcast.
I
Great.
love my Lenrod.
yes, Lenrod says the toadies are fine. I caught them before mowing them. You know what, Lenrod, save this story for King Dolphin TV's podcast tomorrow, because this is the perfect story for his chat and his channel. All of the wildlife stuff. Great material for him. For Raymond. And
Kronos says, "Wow, it's that time of year already for toads. Is it toad season?"
and I'm a fan of the Toadies, the rock and roll band.
Oh yes,
so
me too, very much.
At first, that's what that would make me think of. DJ Ronnie G says, "What does one do with toads? I'm just curious in general. I promise I'm not going to get all animal rightsy on you. Like that time I tucked my turtle into bed like a human on camera."
How did you catch the turtle?
The rumor is that you lick them, but I've never done it personally. Them toad lickers.
I haven't tried that either.
I have not either, and that's
But yeah, there's a
surprising.
whole song, sort of a spoken word song about it. Them toad lickers.
Toad lickers?
By
Licking
who?
them toad lickers, licking them toads. It goes on and on.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yes.
It's a Simpsons reference too, isn't it? I'm not
I
not
suspect
licking toads.
the toad lickers is the first, and the Simpsons
Yes.
are a reference to that. So it's
Yes.
quite old.
Homer Simpson does get hot. Does try.
Does lick a toad.
licking
Yes, he
toads.
does. Yeah, that's true. And
That's
then
a
he
great
drips,
scene.
I believe. Yeah.
In a very extreme way. Great animation.
Mm.
Isn't he on his walkabout at the time?
Yes.
And isn't there a talking coyote? I can't
No,
believe
that's
it's all
that's
coming
the
back to
pepper,
me.
isn't it? Isn't that the one where he has the? Never mind. We can talk all about it
I
on
know,
our new podcast, The Simpsons.
but we digress. Yes.
Yes.
The Quickie Simpsons.
Back to the chat.
Yep.
Yes, Captain Time Lord Spock's waiting to be called on.
All-
He's got
all
his
of-
hand up.
All of the times that Homer Simpson takes a drug besides alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do
Wow.
drugs, kids.
Don't.
Yeah, right. Don't do drugs.
Really
Listen
don't.
to Tasha. Don't do
Yeah,
drugs.
really. Seriously. Yeah, right. Watch Symbiosis. It's a very good episode about that. About how drugs can destroy a whole society.
It's true.
Chrono says, "Wow, turtles are that special and not ninjas?" Okay, yeah, I know. I'm way behind on the chat because I left for a while. So ironically, I'm gonna skip over one of. Oh, hello and hello. Holy crap! Ironically, I'm gonna skip over one of. Oh, hello and hello.
Hello.
Ahoy.
Crap.
Echo.
Oh, I'm getting an echo from someone.
Yeah, give me a second.
Oh,
Give me a second.
just a second here. Is
Is
that better now?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Raymond is echoing, so
I turned my.
I'm going to mute him until he figures that out because that was weird.
I turned my YouTube off, sound off, so it should be good on my end here. Hopefully, if you can hear me, is my mic working?
Yeah. Welcome to the stream. We're talking about Tasha Yar today, and she just died by Armis, and let's see if Raymond can come back.
Okay.
Welcome to Raymond. Yeah. Hello.
No echo?
No echo.
No echo.
Awesome. Hello, guys.
No,
Hey.
see, you're not Echo the Dolphin from that video game.
Nice. I haven't thought about Echo the Dolphin in such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Sunglasses, Caruso. Yeah. The Who.
Yeah. Yeah, I got up. I got up kind of late, so
The Who making their money. Those whores.
Exactly.
As well, they should. We should all make our money.
Oh yeah.
Right. So how are you guys doing, PvP and King Dolphin?
Well, I got my work hours cut back to 20 this week, so
Oh dear.
I'm a little stressed out about paying the
From
rent
40?
at the end of the month.
From
No,
40?
I was not doing 40. I was doing,
Ooh.
I guess it was 32 for the last while, so which I don't mind.
What
I
do
don't
you
mind
do?
I book appointments for insurance agents on the phone.
Oh. Are you good at bookwork in general?
I'm not sure what kind of bookwork do you mean?
I understand that there's a lot of money to be made doing paperwork for mortgages. They always need somebody.
Mortgages. Okay. I think that that'd be like finance. I think that might be a little out of my little out of my
if you can
expertise.
keep records, you could do it. And I've heard that it's something you can walk into, very well
Oh,
paid.
really?
I'm just saying, you could consider it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So doing mortgages, book
Doing
work,
the paperwork specifically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. I guess I should look into that then. Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah,
Gosh,
I hope you can find something to make up for the hours you're losing.
Yeah. Well, actually, my hours are going to go way up next week because, see, the thing was,
Oh, good.
I work for different agents that they basically, the agents come, they come on board to the company, right? When they sign up for a contract, and sometimes they renew and sometimes they don't renew, right? And I had some that hadn't renewed, but one of them has renewed for next week now, so my hours will go up again. So it's
Okay,
up
so
and
you'll
down.
be okay. You just
That's
gotta,
not so worrisome.
you just gotta strap down.
I
for
just
a little bit.
gotta hopefully have enough money in the bank on at the end of the month, but my check's going to be a little tiny, but
Yes,
I've
you
got a
need a
little bit of
cushion.
money in the bank, so hopefully it'll work out. So
Yeah.
oh boy.
Yeah.
You
Anyway,
can take a credit card.
I don't do credit cards.
That's smart.
I got
That is
into
actually pretty smart.
I was dumb when I was young, and I got into trouble with them a bit. So
Yeah, I was
don't do
too.
them anymore.
I did. I had a ton of debt and I paid it off, and yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's definitely something you want to avoid if you can.
Yeah, I just don't mess with credit cards anymore. So
All right.
Brilliant.
anyway, I was just tuning in when I heard you guys talking about licking toads.
Tasha does not lick any toads.
No, okay. I was kind of wondering what was going on with the conversation at that point, but
What was going on?
So were
We were
we.
talking-
So were
we were
we.
ta-
Be right
We
back.
were talking about
Okay.
the toadies
Yeah.
from the lawn mowing.
Oh, right. Thank you.
oh yeah, I think you
Yeah, I
mentioned
was
they were a
thinking,
band or something.
Yeah, Lenrod needs to retell that story on your channel, King Dolphin, Raymond.
Oh, I would be happy to have him on.
Yeah, he absolutely has to share that.
Yes,
That sounds
on
like a fun
Sunday.
story. Hmm.
Sunday.
On Sunday. Oh, I was saying tomorrow because
Yeah,
I'm
no.
used to it being on Saturday. Sorry.
Yeah, we got a family function tomorrow. We're taking the grandkids to the local fair.
Oh, awesome. That should be super fun.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Letting a 6-year-old and a 1-year-old loose on the animals.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you got to be worried about the animals.
So true. So yeah, I took yesterday and today off. Yesterday, I went with our CAP unit on a C-17 flight, and that was amazing.
What does CAP stand for again?
Civil Air Patrol.
Civil Air Patrol.
Oh.
You've said it a million times, and yet I always forget it.
Yep, Civil Air Patrol, and the cadets had an awesome time, and us adults enjoyed ourselves too. And
Nice. Did you get some footage for the show?
Oh, it's gonna be. I've got a bunch of stuff to show on King Dolphin TV on Sunday.
Nice.
Right.
Yep.
That'd be great.
Videos and pictures, and I had people acknowledge King Dolphin TV, so they're gonna be fun videos.
Neat. Oh yeah, and that's material you could use again if you needed it.
Yep.
Neat.
And today we just chilled out, and I completely forgot about the channel and your stream. And I said, "Oh, I better come on."
Yeah, thanks for joining me here, and definitely listen to the beginning of this. I think we had a good start.
All right.
It was good. It's fun.
And so, hello to the rest of you.
Yeah.
Ahoy.
Yeah. Hi.
Yes. Right. I should. Right. You know, Scotty
Yeah, of course.
R37 from
Hi, Scotty.
Phantasmagorium
Hey.
and Tiger Stripes.
Of course, I know Tiger Stripes.
Yeah, I know everyone here. I think
Mhm.
I think I've been
Yeah.
on the panel before.
Yeah,
with
we've been-
everybody here.
Yeah, here on
With
this
King
channel.
Dolphin and Tiger Stripes and Scotty. Yeah, and Jill, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. Anyway, you were talking about Tasha Yar. Then I take it.
Well, are we at Sela yet?
I'm just going through the chat here to see if
Okay.
there's anything going on
Sure.
that I need to not miss.
Lenrod says tofu is evil.
Tofu is evil.
Hmm.
Tofu absorbs everything that it touches. I don't know if that's evil. Is that evil?
I don't know. It's kind of bland, and someone in the chat said it's perfect Vulcan food because it's not too spicy.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Yes. That's why it made sense to me that they would import tofu and that it would be in Plomeek soup in the future. It shows Sunday this week, and I won't be able to make it as a result.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, darn. And yeah. Oh, Lenrod likes the toad licking from Family Guy. I don't remember that. I must have stopped watching that at some point, and I did. Don't do drugs, kids. That can't be.
Don't lick toads. I wouldn't do it.
Especially don't lick toads. That's ridiculously stupid.
Oh, and all hail Hypnotoad. I forgot.
Right. Yeah, no, I didn't forget that. I just didn't want to start talking about Futurama because that is one of my favorite shows ever. It is its own podcast.
Yeah, Futurama was a good show, but I guess they're not making it anymore, are they?
They're going to make more.
Are they?
They're always killing it and bringing it back. I love it.
That is weird. How many times have they brought that back? I'm getting
excited.
Now?
And
the third time?
Yeah, I don't know, fifth. Because then they had a radio thing that they did too.
Really?
And yeah, and Bender's going. See, this is why I didn't mention Hypnotoad. And Bender's going to be on it because there was some fear for a while that he wasn't going to join, and it would be terrible without him.
Yeah, you gotta have Bender.
Mm-hmm.
Bender's probably the coolest robot since the B9, I'd say. That's the Lost in Space reference, by the way, if anybody hasn't seen the show.
I haven't yet, but that might be a podcast in the future for me and Pop Culture Curator, but we're not sure yet.
Yeah, season 1's really is quite good. It's in black and white, but it's probably the only season that's really serious. Well, more serious. And then it kind of gets silly for the last 2 seasons. But there's still some good episodes, though. So. But season 1's the best.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, yeah. We'll see. We'll see if I ever get around to Lost in Space.
And the robot.
I want to see everything sci-fi, and that's worth seeing.
That's a long list. But yeah, the B9 robot is very cool. You've probably seen pictures of him, I think, probably.
Yeah, right. Does he look like Robbie the Robot?
Or
no? He looks different, right?
Not totally. He's quite unique. I mean, he looks a little bit like Robbie, but not really, I'd say.
Krona says I'm cheating, just showing the chats and not responding to them. Well, maybe I'll come back later and respond to them later. I don't know. Let Scotty R37 have a beer, Jill. Well, I'm not telling him what to do, but he's got his he knows what he's doing.
I know what I'm doing.
I'm just drinking tea right now.
Plomeek tea?
Since I just got up a little while ago. Well, it could be.
Oh, hello in the chat to Cardinal Sin. See, I knew I needed to go through the chat quick so I could see who's here. And yeah, Futurama's returning. Bite my shiny cyber ass. Metal ass? Cyber ass?
Metal ass.
Metal ass. And Captain Time Lord Spock says, I'm not lurking, but I feel my chat bunny's efforts are disappearing into the ether. Oh. Well, okay. I apologize for that, Captain. It's kind of tough to be interesting and also read the chat. And I'm not an expert like you at doing that. So Lenrod says they'll make it eventually. Yeah, they will. They're going to make it. It's going to be great. Lenrod said, I'm a comics big shot now, so my witticisms cost money.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's great. I'm glad you're doing that. Girl is Random Thought says, there is a toad licking in South Park. It's called cheesing. Wait, that was a cat urinating on you. Never mind. Yeah, that was South Park. Yeah. South Park is great and ridiculous. I love it.
I haven't seen enough of it. I've seen like the first bunch of seasons, but I haven't stuck with
Really?
it.
Yeah.
Great. There's some Star Trek references.
I kind of fell off of it too. I used to watch it all the time in the early seasons, but then I found it just was getting a little bit repetitious for me, and I just kind of lost interest after a while. So
But the movie is my favorite musical of the 90s.
that's something I still got to watch one of these days.
Oh, man, it's so good.
Yeah, I think
But
we
I'll
were
talk
talking
about it
about
later.
that.
That's a whole story.
I think we were talking about that in an earlier stream a month or two back, actually. You mentioned
Yeah,
Uh,
well,
I do tell
bigger,
that story
longer,
a lot.
uncut, or whatever it's called.
Mhm.
well, if there's any episode you should see is their Star Trek episode. Roger Ebert should lay out the fatty foods, which is a parody of Dagger
Is that
of
an
the
early
Mind.
season?
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
I don't know
a
if.
parody of Dagger of the Mind is
Oh,
that's an
okay.
early. It's season 2, sometime in
Okay.
I
season
might
2.
have seen it, but I've just probably forgotten it because I haven't watched the show in ages. But,
And there's lots of other little things because they're Star Trek fans. And
yeah, well, Futurama did a Star Trek parody too. Did it not in one episode? I think early on.
It did. The
honestly,
entire
at this
original
point,
cast went back.
Yeah.
Except for, and it was Welshie instead of Scotty because James passed away.
I remember that now. Yeah,
And-
didn't it have the time portal?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I definitely saw that one.
well, Paramount gave Matt Trey and Matt Stone and Trey Parker. I merged their names. They gave them money to make those South Park specials, but they should have
really?
given them money to fix Star Trek because they're actual fans, and I think it could
Yeah.
have been fun.
Yeah.
Like they got to do a better job than Secret Hideout, but oh well.
Yeah, Star Trek is in sad state of affairs these days.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about it really.
No, I know. I'm sorry. I'm just getting distracted now.
But in
So-
terms of the allocation of funds, I would definitely have thrown it at remastering Deep Space Nine and Voyager if it's
Yeah,
possible.
especially DS9.
Well, not
yeah.
just a remastering. I would love to have new special effects, new interviews, new everything. That would be great. Some commentary, because Deep Space Nine doesn't have any commentary on any of the episodes.
Really? None?
Yeah.
None.
Wow. Gee, that's bad.
No, they have some special features, but no commentary.
Wow. That's really weird. You would think for sure they would have done a better job on Deep Space Nine because I think it's a much better show than
The only
TNG.
person doing anything good with Deep Space Nine is Bird of Prey 5 when he does his he does watch parties, and he's actually uses an upgraded HD version of the
Woo.
Oh, really?
Oh, cool.
of the episodes
There are
that he
those
shows.
watch parties taking place. Dare I
Well,
ask?
he's on the last few episodes on his channel, Bird of Prey 5.
Oh, last few
Wow.
episodes. Well, then I missed it.
Yeah, you did.
Hmm.
Yeah, because he just had extreme measures. But yeah, right. Mhm.
Oh, speaking of, while we're on the topic of Deep Space Nine,
Yeah, Bird is awake.
we on for tomorrow on Saturday, Jill, for a watch party of DS9.
Oh yeah. Tomorrow at 11. Well,
Okay.
Well, because I haven't watched the episodes yet, so
Yeah,
y'all are
I
my-
have no access to them here, so because I
Yeah,
don't have any of the DVDs.
I'm
or anything,
actually caught up to them too, so I'm ready.
It's the
Yeah.
beginning of season what, Jill?
Season 2.
Season 2.
2.
Yeah, the Circle trilogy.
Yeah, please send me a link tomorrow
Mhm.
to it, Jill, because I
Yeah,
definitely
it's
want
the
to.
same link as last time.
It's
Oh,
the Circle.
okay. I've still got it in my email then, I guess. Okay.
It's the Circle trilogy plus invasive procedures. If I'm
Yes.
Nice.
correct.
Yeah, I can't remember if the early season 2 episodes are good or I kind of
you
forget
were.
now.
No, they're all good.
Yes, these were really good.
Well,
Varying
Oh.
shades of good.
hopefully there's none like a few episodes I won't mention in season 1 with certain hopscotch games.
Illuminate.
Ugh.
Oh, it's fun to say. It's fun to say.
Uh,
Alan Moraine is like singing the theme to Enterprise. It makes people angry, but I love doing it.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Especially having to hear, Captain Sisko's beautiful voice having to sing that song. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, remember? When does Cisco sing? Is that
Oh,
the
and
one
the
where they
last
do like the
one-
Ocean's 11?
Bada bing, bada bang. We just saw it last night.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah, bada
Bada bing, bada bing.
Sandra and I just saw it last night, and oh my God, he is.
Oh, great.
And that's our wedding song.
Wow, that's beautiful. And that is a wonderful scene.
Yeah.
So where
Oh,
was I with Tasha Yar? I forgot all about Tasha Yar.
I know we
Well-
really have. We
No, but okay, so here's the deal. So this is the part where if I had a choice
Mhm.
between being killed by Armis or what happens to Yar in the past, I would take killed by Yar or killed by Armis. Because this death sounds so heartbreaking that they wouldn't even show it on screen. So anyway, the Enterprise C gets captured or whatever, it gets destroyed, and there are survivors, and Tasha is amongst the survivors. So while in prison, one of the wardens, a Romulan, takes her as a concubine, and I can't imagine that she was fairly pleased about that. But
No, of
she
course
gets
not. Her
pregnant.
her character says to me that she would not have liked that.
Yeah, definitely
So-
not. Yeah.
So violated. She goes to the past and she is violated. She gets pregnant with a half Romulan daughter. And one evening, she makes a move to make a break for it. And she takes her daughter, who cries out in the middle of the night. So Tasha is trying to rescue Sela. Sela says, "What the hell are you doing?" Starts kicking and screaming to the point that the wardens or the guards kill her because her daughter betrayed her. That is some messed up stuff.
Yeah, Tasha Yar really can't catch a break no matter what timeline she's in.
Yeah, she's just about as even more tragic than Wesley, actually.
Mhm.
Well, at least
yeah.
Wesley didn't have one of those horrible deaths,
Well,
even though we probably wish he did. But
Yeah, right. Well, we can only imagine. But he gets to
Oh, no.
go run off with the Traveler and fly around the universe.
Well,
and
that's
have
true.
Superpowers.
yeah,
Well, and don't forget he gets to come back in season 3 of Picard. Or no, season 2. He comes back as a traveler in season 2, and it's just so cringe.
oh jeez.
I just gotta. My headache's getting worse.
Oh,
Oh dear. Really? Are you
Yeah.
joking, Jill? Tell me. you're joking.
Just a little bit. No, I
Oh,
do
no.
have one. I didn't mean to
anything.
mention it.
Go grab a couple of aspirin.
No, I did. I already took some
All
aspirin.
right. Okay then.
It's fine. I'm okay.
It's
Maybe
getting
get a
worse.
I
cold
didn't want to
compress
mention it because of this, because then it's going to turn to a tirade about my
Or
head.
maybe get a
It's okay.
cold,
right,
forget
cold
about it.
compress
No
or something
tirade.
on the forehead. Sometimes that helps.
I'm letting it go. We're letting it go.
Mm-hmm.
No
It's not
tirades.
here.
No tirade, no rants.
No Wesley. Okay.
We just want to mommy you as you have mommied us.
Oh,
Oh, thank you.
It's funny that you brought it up, though, as I brought up Picard. So it makes sense. I'm sorry. It's probably my fault.
No, it's not your fault. It is a little.
Okay,
No.
fair enough.
wow. Harsh.
I accept that. I accept that. We had a pregame meeting, and she was like, "I didn't want to do this. I have to talk about Tasha Yar. I don't want to. This is your fault, and I have a headache."
I don't know. Are you a reliable narrator, though, Scotty? I don't know if I'm buying this.
Never.
I was dyeing
never.
my hair, so I wasn't here.
So-
Jill, you need a
Yes.
You need a penalty box like
Tasha Yar was in.
yeah.
Oh,
we-
that was. Speaking of bad moments for Tasha, when she gets put in the penalty box and then Picard goes there and there's sort of a weird flirting going on between them. That was
Oh,
strange.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she can't really move from that little square she's in, so she's just trapped there in the awkward situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds
And,
pretty.
and Kronos
pretty bad.
says, I thought that Yar's sister was hot. And Yar's sister is the first one to wear that cat suit that would later be repurposed for 7 of 9.
Mm.
I don't know if that particular one, but same kind of style. Captain Time Lord Spock says, credibility. My fixing time travel should be enough for them.
Temporal
And
mechanics.
And Kronos says, please no time talk unless you drive 88. And Lenrod can't say or sings, I can't drive 55. Great song. Oh, great. Now I have that song stuck in my brain. No wonder I like 7 as well.
Yeah, I guess 7 kind of saved that show.
Kind of did.
Yeah,
Well,
I definitely. I think the story is actually got better with 7, though. I mean,
They
she
did.
was an interesting character.
She was a
Poor-
deep character.
Yeah.
Poor Kess. Brushed aside for 7 of 9.
Kess never really worked, though. That was the big problem I have with Voyager. Some of the characters, like Neelix, and it's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
bleh.
and her relationship with Neelix was just creepy. It didn't.
That was
it
just,
wasn't,
yeah.
no.
That was
Neelix
just-
is generally rather creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I
Yeah,
preferred Kess when she was working with the Doctor.
Yes.
Yeah, that was definitely better. Yeah.
And I guess Tom Paris gets to marry 2 crew members through the course of the show, because isn't there like a flash forward episode in the future where Kess and Tom are married, and then in real reality, Kess and, or sorry, not Kess, Tom and B'Elanna are married.
Right,
I
and
think
they
I do
have
vaguely
baby in
remember
the
that
finale.
Yeah. I
And we
haven't
get
watched
to see
Voyager in
baby.
ages.
Their baby. Gorilla's random thought says, probably the reason for the headache makes her think of a way to defend Wesley. Yeah, right. And Captain Time Lord Spock says Tuvix was murdered. So I wonder if Gorilla already put Janeway on trial for that. So here's the part of the stream where Scotty tells me all about why or how
The rest
Tasha's-
of, or
Yeah, the
Denise
rest of the
Crosby's
story.
career has not been tanked. As you may or may not know, her first film role was in the Blake Edwards directed, Bo Derek starring, and Dudley Moore, 10. Starting a long career with Blake Edwards.
Who's Blake Edwards?
Blake Edwards is the director of the
Director.
Pink Panther.
Yeah.
Notably, and many
That's
other movies.
Probably
And
the
many
most
other
famous
movies.
film.
Also
is the Pink
prominently
Panther
famous
stuff.
for having been married to Julie Andrews.
That's
True
true.
story.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, Denise Crosby was married to Blake Edwards' son for a time.
Ah,
After
nepotism
10,
rules.
sorry,
I said nepotism rules.
nepotism does rule.
True.
Well,
Yeah.
she is
that's
Bing Crosby's granddaughter, and as we mentioned earlier,
Oh.
she never met her grandfather. There was
Wow.
familial dispute in regards to her mother and her father. Apparently, there was child support and just a divide in the family.
Oh
And-
my
and
goodness.
in an act of rebellion, she posed in Playboy. I think
Oh,
it was
a
meant
rebellion
proper-
to wait. What was the rebellion for exactly?
It was against, because it was her
She was
father.
sticking it in the man's eye.
Yeah,
Her
her
dad?
father was Bing Crosby's.
But she was, dare I
son.
say, illegitimate?
Right.
Let me see.
Is that the point here?
No. What I'm saying is that the rebellion, her rebellious streak, and her desire to buck sort of things like being stuck in the background as she felt on Star Trek, is also because she didn't like to be sort of fenced in. I think that
Who
it
was
is.
fencing her in?
Daughter of Marilyn Scott and actor Dennis Crosby. So
Yes.
one of Bing's sons.
Yeah,
I don't understand what she's rebelling against.
Her unmarried mother was forced to fight a sensational 3-year-long lawsuit.
against
end
the,
of
the
which-
Crosby family.
Dennis was ordered to, well, the son was ordered to pay
Son.
child support and legal fees.
It's a very scandalous beginning to like an early personal life.
Mhm.
It is a pity she never met her grandfather. I don't like that when that happens.
That's true, but Bing Crosby isn't necessarily
Oh no.
remembered as being
He's-
the nicest of individuals.
No.
Yes, particularly when it comes to family.
Yes. And so, in an act of rebellion against the Crosby clan, I think that is what
Okay.
ended up happening with her Playboy, her Playboy appearance.
Okay, so she
So anyway.
just didn't like everybody suing each other.
Well,
Uh,
I
Oh, I would say she didn't like being estranged completely from this side of the family simply because she
Oh,
was
because of that.
illegitimate. The fact that they didn't have it in their hearts to embrace her.
Oh, wow, that's
very
not
well
cool.
said. Very
Just because
well said.
she's not legitimate doesn't
And
mean
I
she's
never
not-
knew this about her
Wow,
before.
I didn't know that they rejected her for that.
So
that's
that's
ridiculous.
Oh
That's
yes.
terrible.
That's old school. That's what it used to be like.
Mhm.
That's one of the things that's a little better about our culture these days.
Right,
that People are more
yes.
accepting of single mothers.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't even consider that as a possibility that anyone would reject somebody just for being a baby. What the hell is wrong with people?
Yeah. Well, that's the trouble,
You're a
though.
baby. I hate you. I hate babies. Hello to Gap After Dark.
I hate babies and puppies. I'm a Crosby.
That's what it reads to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So anyway,
dysfunctional family.
very much so, very much so. So after being in the Blake Edwards film 10, she was in the Trail of the Pink Panther, one of the sequels. Heavens, hang on a second. I apologize. I'm having a Snoopy emergency. It'll just be 2 seconds.
Okay, that's fine. I'll read Captain Time Lord Spock. He says Andrews got them out in SOB. What's SOB? Does anybody know?
It was a movie, and Julie went briefly topless in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
quite notorious at the time.
but
It
it's,
was like, wow, everybody was
Okay,
talking about
well,
that.
I think she was trying to, break her image as the goody
Yeah.
two-shoes. And it's funny, it still made no difference. We still all
Yeah.
adore her, and
We
she's
still
the
remember
queen.
her as Mary Poppins or whatever, basically. So
Yes. And Sound of
Oh,
Music.
okay. Then I know who Julie Andrews is. Then.
Yes.
Oh.
yeah,
Okay,
she was
great.
in Sound of Music
But
too.
you
if
know-
remember
Yeah, because
that
I know
one.
all the kids.
People are
stuff.
only focused on the physical, and all right then.
That's true. Wow.
I'm just going
I
to pop
mean,
off for a second. I'm just going to
you
go
know.
get a drink here. My throat is bugging me a bit. Be back
Okay.
in a minute.
Okay, sure.
No
As
one's
did
ignoring
Crosby
you,
and
Captain. Don't
Playboy.
be sulky now.
As did Crosby and Playboy. Okay. Right. Denise Crosby was in Playboy. I learned
Well,
that
Scotty pointed
today.
that out already, that she did it as an FU to the family.
Mm-hmm.
And hard to blame her,
Yeah, right?
given the circumstances.
I mean, being rejected just for existing, that's not cool.
No, it's not.
Mega Cropper says Spock's son got Jadzia Dax. Yeah, right. That's correct. That's correct.
Is it?
Adam Nimoy is married to Terry Farrell.
Oh, how lovely.
The only bit of Hollywood news I actually know. Kronos says nice. Gapped After Dark says, I don't think Julie Andrews posed nude in Playboy. She appeared on the cover, but she was nude in the movie SOB.
Not nude,
Mm.
topless.
Topless is very different from nude. Thank you for the clarification, Tiger Strike.
It's a little different.
The distinction.
I'm currently watching Black Sails, and when they begin every episode, there's a letter, column on what's featured in the show. And V for violence, N for nudity. I'm always cheering for N for nudity personally. But
Right.
yes.
Well, sometimes that makes a difference between an R and an X rating.
Oh boy, does it.
Chrono says, I
heard you, Raymond. I heard you, Raymond. Come on now, speak up.
was nice about the Playboy thing, says Cronus. Not the Spock's son with Dax. Gorilla's Random Thought says Janeway was on trial for 1 count of treason and 1 count of violating the Prime Directive for the events in Scorpion. Of course. And Captain Time Lord Spock says Andrews got them out in SOB. Crosby in Playboy. Yep. Captain Time Lord says to keep us all abreast of the situation.
Ho, ho, ho.
I don't have a kitty table here, so I don't know what to do.
Oh, I think Raymond's providing the rim shots. I'll take them.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm doing the rim shots.
Kronos asks, was she singing at the time? I don't know. I don't know
Darn
who
it,
she
I
is.
think she was.
Yeah,
I've
I
only
do
seen it
remember that she
once,
did.
but I think she was.
I think so too, Tiger Stripes.
Isn't that hilarious?
Mm-hmm.
And hello in the chat to Hex Allen Comics.
Oh,
How are
back.
you? Oh, welcome back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Captain Time Lord Spock says, I choose violence.
Yes, 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 some people cheer. VA, V for violence. Yes, me, I'm always going N for nudity. Sometimes it's not there at all. And then I'm like, oh, no N.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I digress.
Yeah,
but
well,
strong. But you get the strong language.
it seems that violence and nudity
True.
do
That
often
would
sell
be
those.
SL for strong language. It's
I
there.
leave for 2 minutes and you guys start talking about sex and violence?
It's in the gutter.
Indeed.
It's in the gutter.
That's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah, straight in the gutter. Help us, Jill.
This is where the chat went.
We
I
could talk.
know.
We could
So I
talk
was
about.
just verbatim reading the chat.
We could have a
and that's
music
what happened.
discussion. We could talk about sax and violins.
Sax and violins.
Oh, I know, terrible pun.
Dalek
No, I like
here.
Sorry,
Waving
sorry.
at Dalek. Waving at Dalek.
I think Gecko After Dark says hi.
Ahoy, Dalek. So anyway, a long career with Blake Edwards, being in The Trail of the Pink Panther, The Curse of the Pink Panther, The Man Who Loved Women,
Oh my God.
and Skin Deep. And again, as I mentioned, married to Blake Edwards' son. Now, this is all pre Next Generation, except for Skin Deep, who she starred with, or co-starred with, the late, great John Ritter.
Oh,
Then,
yeah.
the film that film, as well as Pet Sematary and the film Tennessee Waltz, which I'm not familiar with at all, were the 3 films in 1989 that she filmed just after departing. While not wildly successful, as everyone knows, because Skin Deep, no one's heard of it. Pet Sematary, sort of a butt of jokes. How many people like Pet Sematary?
I never saw it.
Okay.
I have not seen it either.
I know
saw-
there's a
book.
cat in it.
And I found the book
Yeah.
distressing.
I saw
which
part
is
of it.
Good horror. Good horror should be upsetting. So
Mhm.
I have not seen the movie.
Yeah, I saw part of it. Like I
don't
think I
think-
caught like the last half on the TV one time, and I was not too impressed. I thought it was pretty. I thought
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah,
just-
that's me too. I've seen
was
bits
kind
and
of a
pieces
yuck.
of it.
Yeah, it was kind of a yuck type of experience. I was like, no, I don't want to watch this ever again. So, yeah,
Well,
didn't do it. For
it
me.
is a Stephen King story, so there is a certain level of disturbance that you're going to get with such a title.
Yeah,
It's
I just didn't-
It's a horror story, and
Well,
it's
it-
very
Mhm.
Kingian.
yeah, and it had what Fred Gwynn, I think, from Munsters fame in it, if I
Absolutely, yeah.
remember correctly. And I kind of felt bad for old Fred. Like I think that was the last film he made before
Oh
he
no,
passed away.
Fred was very happy to be working.
Oh, I'm
Very
sure
happy
he
to be
was, but
working.
I just thought, gee, he deserves, he deserves better material than this. I mean,
Well,
I just,
I think it was an
did
interesting
you see Cotton Club?
transition.
no, I did
Oh,
not. I
wow.
have not
Whoa,
seen
it's a
Cotton Club.
must. He is so
Mhm.
wonderful in that. Oh,
He's
I
a-
get
he's a
goosebumps
darn good
just
actor,
thinking of
yeah.
it.
I mean, I always thought he was great in the Munsters. Like, I mean, for being such, basically a silly '60s comedy show, he really made Herman into a full-fledged, fully rounded
2 word
character.
Cotton Club.
Yeah, I got to see Cotton Club then. I've
Yes.
heard it's supposed to be really good, but there's another
That is
one
my
that's still
second
on my watch
favorite
list.
Gregory
Unfortunately.
Hines film.
God, I loved Greg.
Right, I
Hines.
remember that. Yeah, I remember that name. Yeah, Gregory Hines. Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
we'll talk about
also, hi.
all about it on our Cotton Club podcast.
Hello in the chat to Dalek451. He wants
Hey,
to
Dalek.
join the panel, but he can't right now.
Kronos, not all Voyager
then-
was terrible.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
true. Not all Voyager was terrible.
No, it had its
Horrible.
moments, definitely.
True.
No, I've seen some really excellent episodes of Voyager.
Me too.
I like the one, the two-parter with what was it? Species. I can't remember the name of
8,
them.
4, 5, something.
Yeah, those
the Borg
those
and-
episodes really freaked me out. They were like, wow, they were scary.
And
But yeah, there were some really good episodes. It's
Yeah,
just-
Hex Allen
were-
Comics points out that Denise Crosby was also in Walking Dead. And it was interesting
Yes.
because when I saw her in
That's
that,
right.
I had to look twice to recognize her.
End of season 5, I think it was, something like
Oh,
that.
deuced. I've stopped watching once they killed the tiger. What does that say about me?
Yeah, well,
I
I
can
stopped
take-
watching
I can
before
take
that.
any
so-
number of people, disemboweled and murdered and tortured, but when they kill a tiger, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, I stopped watching before that. I quit when they killed Glenn off. I was just.
I
like,
shouldn't. I'm
too
sorry.
much.
I'm spoiling. Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
that's
Well-
okay. I know so little about it. You're not spoiling a thing.
Yeah, there's so
But
much.
she was in it, and I did have to look twice to recognize her. She was very good in it. She was very good.
hmm
Great.
Yeah,
Also had-
she was just in what, 1 or 2 episodes. or-
Yeah, underused, but very good.
Yeah.
Well,
around
tell
the
me
end of
about her.
season
I
5,
I don't
think.
care about spoilers for Walking Dead. Tell me about her role and what she did in the episode.
She was the boiler.
What's that?
She was the person cooking people, stirring the
Why?
pot. Why? To eat them.
Why are they eating people on The Walking Dead?
Why does anybody eat people?
Because there's nothing else to eat.
For fun
Pretty
and
much,
profit.
yes.
Soylent Green.
I think they were just a sadistic, almost like a sadistic cult or something too, weren't they? Like they were a
I
strange
just
bunch.
think that when you get to the end times, when you get to an apocalypse, there are people who will eat people and people who won't. I'm firmly of the second group, but she was one of the first group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll eat the algae or whatever.
I'll eat just about anything but people.
And the bugs. There's got to still be lots of bugs.
I'll eat bugs if I have to, I guess. It comes to it. Just not looking forward to it. Let's don't go there.
Very interesting.
She also did a bit part with Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy in 48 Hours.
48 Hours was her first official film, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she had a really good career that she was building role by role until she got to Star Trek, and that's the one that would have given her name recognition.
It would have if she stuck with it. I agree.
Polloi, us people. She absolutely should have stuck with it for the same reason that Uhura should have stayed Uhura, because she was representing women in a strong position as a head of security.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And should have stuck with it for that reason, if no other, at least for another year. And and I think it would have opened up for her, and she would have seen all of the story possibilities for her character.
Yeah, and Nichelle never really wanted to be a career actress, but she still used it in her life as a way to better society and everything with her work with NASA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very true.
Really?
Having that name recognition puts a person as an actor over the top.
Definitely.
I'm sorry, Raymond, what's up?
Yeah, for you cannibalizer people, Sandra just texted me and said there's an inmate who died a couple of years ago who was killing people and then cooking them on the streets of Baltimore.
Holy gee.
Jeez.
Yikes.
Ugh. Man, there's some deranged people out there. That's scary.
Yeah, it reminds me of a IT. I don't know if anyone watches IT Crowd, but there's an episode where where they meet with the person who's a cannibal, but only a consensual cannibal. So the person has to, the other person who's going to get eaten has to be okay with being eaten. It's a pretty funny episode. Nobody gets eaten. Nobody gets eaten in the episode. It's actually well done.
Actually, though, Jill, I remember. I don't know where I heard this, but I actually heard there was an actual real serial killer like that that would actually invite his victims over for dinner, and they would basically agree to be eaten. Like,
I guess that's where they got the idea.
Yeah, I read it somewhere, and it was actually a real thing. Like this person was a consensual serial killer, so to speak, and it's just like I couldn't believe it.
There are some odd people out there.
But Lenrod says people taste lousy.
That's not what I've heard.
I've heard it tastes like pork.
I wouldn't know either.
Pork. Really
I hear we taste like pork.
I didn't know when I woke up this morning preparing to discuss Lieutenant Natasha Yar and Denise Crosby that we would get into a deep discussion regarding cannibalism.
Well, this is her character in Walking Dead. That's
right. Yeah, see, I didn't know she was on The Walking Dead.
So we can go back to her credits and how they mounted, very neatly up to the point of Star Trek.
Well, and after that, she has several film roles, supporting roles, and direct-to-video roles that if I listed these movies, no one has heard of them.
Is one of them? She was in Dolly Dearest, in a slasher film.
Yes, she was Marilyn. What is Dolly Dearest? Let's find out. Dolly Dearest is a 1991 American slasher film starring Denise Crosby and Rip Torn.
Rip Torn.
Oh, that's
appropriate casting then for a slasher film.
Who's Rip Torn?
Rip Torn's a wonderful actor.
Oh yeah, he was a really big actor, like back in the '60s, I think it was.
70s, '80s, '90s, all the way through.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think he was at his
Men in Black.
his early career, but yeah, he did a lot. He was everywhere for a while.
He played Tom Green's dad in Freddy Got Fingered.
Oh, really? Okay, then I know him.
Wasn't he notably somebody's Ed McMahon?
Yes, on the Larry Sanders Show.
Yeah. Yeah.
He also played with Clint Eastwood and Burt Reynolds as the bad guy in, oh God, what was it? Chicago. No, it was a 1920s Prohibition film, and I forgot what it was.
You would know his face, Jill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
he's-
I do. I know him from Freddy Got Fingered. You just
He's
told me
very
one
Oh my
movie.
God, I
recognizable.
can't believe you've seen that.
Yeah,
That
no,
is-
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
That is
He's one of those
breathtaking.
actors that you just remember the face, like even more than the name, because he's in
Mhm.
so much stuff, right?
But it's
He's
such a
just like-
memorable name. It's funny that
yeah,
it's
I
so
think
hard
it's
to
a-
put them together. I don't know why.
well, it's a stage name, I would assume.
Well,
I
there
mean,
was a comedian also with the name of Rip, and I think the two of them got conflated.
okay.
Rip Taylor. He was the guy
Rip
with
Taylor.
The
Oh yeah, I remember
Bingo.
him too.
So anyway,
Yeah.
it's about murderous dolls. Dolly
Oh,
Dearest.
yeah.
Oh.
Oh, it
And
is
it is
about
it
murder.
is often
Oh,
credited
okay.
as an inspiration for the film Annabelle.
No, that sounds like fun.
Huh.
Is it
Then, yeah,
Annabelle
we
or
got,
Annabelle Lee?
Annabelle.
I thought it was Annabelle.
Annabelle.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, Annabelle. Oh, the possessed doll.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And like
So
me,
then
I don't know about these movies. I don't know, but they're pretty bloody. Says Kathy.
I've only
So,
heard
yeah,
about them.
probably.
Yeah, I'm not really into slasher movies. Not my cup of tea, so to
Nope.
speak.
Ditto, but I do love dolls. So
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of dolls either. They kind of creep me out a little bit.
you got a lot of people.
Sorry for spoiling Walking Dead for you, Gorilla. I just wanted to know about a thing I didn't know about. Brain and
Brain and brain. What is
brain?
brain?
Green isn't a tasty color. It
Blue
was-
is less
true.
tasty, or so they say.
No, I like blue.
Alfred Hitchcock famously had a dinner that he invited people to where all the food had been dyed blue.
Maybe I don't like blue.
There you go.
Mhm.
Commander, oh, hello in the chat to Commander Ed Straker of Shadow. Oh, wow, that's great. I'm actually just watching UFO for the first time. I've only seen a few episodes, but I'm getting through them. And sometimes on these Friday streams, I'll talk about it. Commander Ed Straker says, what really killed her career was she developed a reputation for being difficult to work with and for heavy drinking. Jeffrey
Dear me.
Dahmer, but he would drug them in the cocktail phase of the dining experience. I don't know what Straker's talking about, but Straker is
I
a
do.
pretty cool dude.
Well,
What
the
is he
first
talking
comment is about Denise Crosby, and the second comment is back to our cannibalism and whoever Hannibal the Cannibal was based on.
Yeah, Jeffrey
Mhm.
Dahmer was a notorious serial killer that ate
Oh,
people.
let's
killed-
don't say his name. Let's
Yeah.
don't commemorate him in that fashion.
Yeah, I don't even want to see his
Yeah.
name really.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
thanks.
I'm sorry for saying it. I didn't know who I was.
That's all right.
I
You're
think I-
reading.
Oh well, I mean, we have to acknowledge that this.
I think I have heard of
ugly
him, but
stuff
I
You
didn't
can just
exist
really.
say
in the
that
world,
guy who
unfortunately.
used to eat people, and we'll all know.
Zed's dead, baby. Zed's
Zed's
dead.
dead. Yeah, if we should just talk about Mary from The Walking Dead if we're talking about cannibals. Just
Yeah,
keep it on point,
I think
people.
we've probably discussed it long enough, actually.
Anyway, and so a string of uninteresting films, some of them direct to video. She was in the 1997, speaking of Quentin Tarantino there, Cap. She was in 1997's Jackie Brown as the public defender in one scene, which is kind of neat. It's always fun
I still need
run
to see
into.
Jackie Brown.
Oh, it's good. It's good. It's one of my
So do
favorites.
I.
Yeah, I gotta watch that too.
So
I'm
what
not
is
the biggest Tarantino fan, but I need to catch up.
apparently I am, and I didn't. I knew I
You
was,
didn't know it?
but I didn't know how much of a Tarantino fan I was until
I do like him,
Mhm.
but
I've
sometimes
heard that-
I was put off by one of his movies, and I just haven't gone back to it.
Do you remember which one?
I do.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And so she was in Jackie Brown, and then she was the mom in Deep Impact, which you'll remember as the Kmart version of Armageddon.
I never saw Deep Impact.
It isn't bad. It isn't good, but it isn't bad.
Yeah, she had lots and lots of one one moment roles in television, and it looks like when she finally got to Ray Donovan, she had a recurring role. I've heard very good things about that series, although I've never seen
Mhm.
it. And it's good. I'm really happy she had a recurring role in that. But look how long it took her. that was 2013 to 2017.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard that's a good show too. Yeah.
And, you know,
With Liev
and it
Schreiber.
took her all the way kind of pretty much from
Wait, what? What was her name?
1994. So that's 20 years. Yeah, that's
She was in a
long time.
TV show. I'm sorry, Tiger Stripes. What show are you talking about?
Ray Donovan is the name of the show.
Oh, that's the name of a show. See,
Yeah,
I was
Ray
getting
Donovan,
it confused with an actor.
Yeah, I've heard it's supposed to be really, really great show, but I've
So
never
I've heard.
checked it out.
I want
It
to
was-
someday.
it
I
was
like
on
I
for
like the
quite a
principal
while.
actor very much.
What is it about?
Yeah,
I think it's a PI. I'm not 100% on that, but that's my
Okay.
gut.
And
Yeah,
she was on.
Liev
She was on
Schreiber
that for like
is
a
the lead.
long time.
It looks like she had a recurring role. You know, 15
think it was-
episodes.
it was
Wow.
on for. It was on for a few seasons, so wasn't it? That show for quite
Oh, yes.
some time.
Yes.
Yeah,
2013 to 2017.
yeah. There
Ray-
you go. Yeah, yeah. It was
Ray
quite
Donovan?
successful.
Ray Donovan
Ray
is
Donovan.
a professional fixer who arranges bribes, payoffs, threats, crime scene cleanup, and other illegal activities to protect his usually celebrity clients.
That's interesting, but he's a legal fixer because most fixers are generally illegal.
Mm-hmm.
So
And what role did Denise Crosby play in this?
She played.
the character's name is Deb.
Mm-hmm.
What does she do?
So I don't know.
So nobody's actually seen this show. But
No,
she
I've
was
never seen
she
it.
was in it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
15
Well, her-
episodes.
Her television
It's
credits
decent.
are rather diverse. She was in NYPD Blue. She was in Mad Men. She was in Lois and Clark, Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. She was in Baywatch. Where's the Rockford Files TV movie? Family Law, Drew Carey Show, X Files, Jag, Crossing Jordan, Dexter, Bones.
So she hung in there and she kept working.
Exactly.
She's had a
It
pretty
sounds like
good
she's
career,
still
actually.
working.
Then
Her
really,
She is still
diversity-
working, I believe. But
Yeah.
had
And
she
CIS.
stayed, would it have been better for her career? I would say
I think
yes.
so.
Absolutely.
I would
I think
say
absolutely.
probably, yeah.
And then we also do have to acknowledge in the late 90s, actually 1997 and 2004, co-executive producer and host of the film, Trekkies. And Trekkies 2, which
I
is
have-
a brilliant or
I put off seeing that. I've
uh,
had many opportunities, and for
I have
some
seen
reason,
both.
I fight it. I fought it.
And this is when she's re-embraced her time at Star Trek.
Well, yes. I think, and this is why
Because her
it's like an
attitude
apology,
changed.
a love letter to the fandom. And she did, as you mentioned in the quote at the top of the show, she did sort of regret leaving. And again, as Tiger Stripe, you rightly pointed out, she's publicly said that there were mistakes that she made based on her career choices. But I do think that she got to embrace a wider diversity of characters and different characters to play and give back to the fandom.
I think when you walk away from the first year of a successful series or even a middling successful series, you are less likely to be cast in a recurring role because they're afraid you'll walk away again.
Yeah, well, the
Sure.
producers certainly probably weren't happy when she told them she was, quitting the show.
Well, she wasn't breaking a
You know.
contract, I assume, because she kept working. When you break your contract, often
Yeah,
you don't
maybe she
work.
Would she just have had a 1-year contract then?
I
Tiger
expect
Stripes?
that everybody might have at that point.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Interesting.
and famously, Patrick Stewart said his agent said, just go there for 6 months, you'll do the show, and you'll be back. And it's done.
A good agent. She had a lot of faith in the show, eh?
Well, and
People really don't understand fandom and don't understand the desire to see new characters and to see the universe.
Well, yeah.
They just don't get it. The normies, the muggles.
Yeah, true. I mean, Trek,
Muggles.
is such a brand name that it was pretty much guaranteed to be a success.
You would,
Well, I mean, even with the lousy first season, it still did well. So,
and that was a lousy first season.
oh, it was.
Mostly.
most
Yeah, there was a couple of episodes, I guess, that were decent.
Very
but
inconsistent.
yes.
very.
But there are some high points. Again, Arsenal of Freedom is a great episode.
Yeah, I
Right.
like that
Yes,
one.
I like that
Yeah,
too.
that was a fun episode. Kind of reminded me of TOS a lot, that episode, actually.
And I really actually like the pilot. I always like my
I
my
found it
giant
interesting more than fun.
jellyfish, space jellyfish in love.
Well,
Jellyfish.
She was an
Holding
interesting
hands.
character, but I found the pilot a little bit slow moving, kind of. I don't know.
Well, it gave us.
Oh,
Q,
I can
and
go
thank
farther
heavens.
than that. I can say
Yeah,
that I
it gave us
really didn't
Q.
watch.
But yeah, I mean, I did like Q in the episode, of course.
I
Yeah.
didn't watch TNG because of that pilot for the first year. I'm
Really?
out. Oh, it was so bad.
Wow.
I
Yeah, I just found
feel,
it kind of
I
slow moving.
feel love. I feel.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I would never stop. Vomiting.
Oh, Troy is what
Yes.
turned you off in particular. Then, okay,
Yeah.
I don't blame.
The
I
whole thing
don't
was
blame
so
you.
touchy feely, and the giant
Yeah.
jellyfish. OMG.
I like the jellyfish.
Oh
Yeah.
well, they were better than
but-
Troy at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah, the jellyfish were better than Troy.
For me.
Yes, better love story than Troy and Riker. Definitely.
Yeah,
Well, and
Troy
don't
and
forget
Wesley
about
were a couple of
Groppler
pretty
Zorn.
bad characters.
Yeah, Groppler Zorn. Yes, the one
Groppler
who kept the jellyfish a secret.
Mm-hmm.
Oh look, there's Anonymous.
Anonymous.
Hello, Anonymous. Great to see you here today. There were
And
men in dresses in season 1. Yeah, the skins.
The scans.
I could have been a kilt, says Kronos.
Mhm.
You could have been a kilt. Okay.
Actually, you know what? They should have put Scotty in a kilt in one episode. That
I
would have
think
been
they did.
cool.
I think.
Yeah,
they
I
were
was
just a
gonna
dress
say, didn't
uniform.
Yeah, in the original series.
Mm-hmm.
Which episode? I'm having a
I
brain
want to
cramp.
say Journey to
He was-
Babel, but I think it might have been. The one.
Jeez, how
with
did I
the
forget
Medusa.
that?
The one with
Hmm.
Lincoln. The one with Lincoln.
The one with Lincoln.
Oh,
yeah,
he was in,
Savage
really?
Curtain.
He was in a kilt? Wow.
Yeah.
I just totally forget that for some reason. Wow.
I'm not sure if he was in one on Space. No, he wasn't in one on Spacey.
Yeah. He wore one, I think, in one of the movies too, did he not?
No, he
don't
played
know.
bagpipes.
Right.
Oh, okay. Okay, my memories are getting all muddled here. Oh well.
Oh wow! Gap After Dark mentions that she was in 9 episodes of what was it? Creep Show, the Creep Show TV.
That must have been
Series.
syndicated. I don't remember that show.
9 episodes of Suits TV show, and then Creep Show.
What is Creep Show?
Creep
Well,
Show
it was
is
a movie originally.
Mhm.
And Suits is very recent, I believe.
Okay, let me
2019.
see.
Mm.
You know, she's still
See,
working
there
there.
are two kinds of people
Yeah.
in the world: people who like Suits and people who like Mad Men. And I like Mad Men. Although she was in both. She was in Mad Men and Suits, and that's
Yeah.
very recently. Creep Show is 2021. Suits is 2019, as you mentioned.
So it seems like she gets lots of roles where she just appears once in a series, in just one episode.
Exactly. But
She's
But
she
in Suits,
working, though.
started getting recurring roles
hmm
in the
And-
last
Yeah.
5 years, 7 years, which is good.
That is good.
She's doing okay.
Cool.
I mean,
I don't know. I haven't seen
no.
her performances lately. I wonder if she's gotten better as an actress since I paid any attention to her.
And she played herself on Family Guy.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Again, I think that
And
that's
the
what
TNG,
I-
yeah,
That sounds
yeah,
That's
intriguing.
so self-effacing. I admire people who do that.
yeah, they had a TNG episode. I remember that.
So while I understand, as we've discussed in terms of her ungrateful nature, your frustration with her not staying with it, I still think her being a working actress across film and television and being a producer of documentary, I would say no. Her career was not tanked. And it's very interesting that you bring up Troy, because even as Troy developed as a character, didn't really develop much as a character. And I think someone else in the chat does say Troy is a terrible driver, because who crashed the Enterprise?
Yeah,
Who?
well, Troy crashes it, but Riker was in command. He could have put a more practiced helmsman up there. So
He
I
could've,
actually
man.
blame that crash on Riker.
It's Riker's
could've
fault?
drove it.
Oh,
It's Riker's
wow.
fault for putting her at the helm. Yes,
Okay.
Yeah, he could have drove it.
right.
Whatever happened to his piloting skills?
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's true.
second in command, he should have taken the helm. Definitely.
Well, and he does in Insurrection as well. So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Marina Sirtis is a different story because
Yes.
I think that Denise Crosby is a better actress than.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I
Yeah.
totally agree with that.
I thought she was pretty good as Tasha Yar. Like, I really I like that character. I mean, to this day, I still can't understand really why Denise quit. Like, I thought she was getting some interesting stuff in a lot of the episodes, and she was a she was a developing character that was getting really, really interesting, by the time she, got killed. But I thought, I don't know. I thought she was getting quite a bit, in the scripts that were pretty good to work with. And then she just dumped it. Like, it was just, I don't know. I still don't get it, really.
Yes, you're right. We talked at the beginning of the
Oh,
stream
okay.
about some of
I
her.
missed that.
Well, no, that's okay. It's good to mention again that she actually did have a lot of good stuff going on. She wasn't just sitting there saying "I captain" all the time. She did have
Exactly.
real things to do as a security officer.
Yeah, it's like Lieutenant Uhura had less to do on TOS than Tasha did.
Precisely. Tasha a lot of the times had leadership decisions that she made that Riker took seriously, and he trusted her to do her job.
Yeah. And I
she
mean, we'll
did.
never forget the romance with Data there.
The Star Trek shows in general are very ensemble based. I think an actor has a really good opportunity to show their stuff if you stick with it.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're going to be the star of
Yeah.
every episode if
Yeah.
you're, secondary
Precisely.
cast. But still, I mean, even Uhura got, episodes like Mirror Mirror where she got to shine, as an actor. So,
Right. Anytime. Well, that was the difference with Nichelle Nichols, is that she could take just a small part or a small line
Yeah.
and turn it into something graceful and beautiful. And
Yeah, even
amazing.
Hailing Frequencies Open was a
Mhm.
great line when
Well,
she
it was
said
just also the way she moved, because she is a dancer, and so
Mm.
she
Yeah,
was
she had a
wonderful.
gracefulness about her. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I'm so bummed out that she's gone now.
Me too.
No one lives forever, but some people should.
Yeah, but
Well,
we have
she'll
the
live
episodes,
forever.
so
Yeah, with us. She'll be with us in that way.
true.
And
Mhm.
are you back, Scott?
I am
Yeah,
back.
I wanted to say that I do kind of get your point too, because in her last her comment where she said she was dying, she also said that she had always dreamed about playing different roles and doing different
Mhm.
things. So she did get that in effect, based on everything you read. She got a whole lot of different roles.
Yeah,
Maybe-
very diverse roles when you think about it. Yeah.
I do want to check one thing.
That's really true. And I kind of looked at other people's resumes post Star Trek who were in TNG, and being typecast can really limit your options. And that's probably
Mhm.
what she was concerned about at the time. But also, if you stick with the show, sometimes your character rises above, and the next thing you know, you do make the transition to movies. You do
Yeah,
make
like
the transition
Yeah.
to
Patrick
being the
Stewart did.
star of a show. Oh
Yeah,
no,
well,
Stewart was absolutely typecast. He had to go back to England
Mhm.
and let people forget about him for a while before he was able to come back and then get cast again in movies.
But he did it.
He did it, but
Yeah.
it took him, he had to take time off. I heard him talk about being auditioning for a movie, and the audition went really well. And on the way out the door, either producer or the director, he was speaking with them, and he's like, "So, will I hear from you tomorrow?" And they said, "Are you kidding? I can't have the captain of of Star Trek be in my movie."
Mhm.
And this was an audition that had gone well. And that's when he made up
Mm.
his mind he was going to have to go back to England.
That's true. That is a good counterpoint.
So
Being in
just
Star Trek
Well,
will
but
put your name out there, but is that always a good thing?
yeah.
and
It's
oddly
hard to
enough,
say.
breaking free of his Star Trek typecasting was essentially playing the only other famous bald man in pop culture aside from Yul Brynner. He's being
Professor
X.
cast as Professor X, and that's sort of, he's still within his wheelhouse of like genre fiction, but
Well,
at
that
least
is
he did. But he was also
sometimes your career
he
goes in a particular direction. It goes down a particular path.
for sure,
The
and then
casting
also
agents and on the producers, they see people the same way we do. They look at their resume and they go, "Well, this is leading in a direction. Well, they've had this experience. Will they be good?" It's interesting the way people's resumes build.
hmm And he was the bad guy in Conspiracy Theory with Julia Roberts and Mel Gibson. directed by Richard Donner, which was a sort of breakaway role for him as well, to be able to play the villain.
I've heard really good things about that movie, and I still haven't seen it. It's on my list.
It's
on my short list.
Cinema. I enjoy revisiting it from time to time.
Somebody was really extolling it to me just the other day.
Captain says Poopy Stew can't act anyway. Man's an awful ham.
Oh,
That
I
is
agree.
an opinion.
I agree.
And Raymond agrees.
Well, I've always said, and I'll continue saying it, that when he first, I saw the Dune in the 80s, and I felt that Sting with maybe 2 or 3 lines was a heck of a better actor than Poopy Stew.
Yeah, Sting had a presence, that's for sure.
He wore a metal bikini. Not very many people can do that and get away with it.
Yeah. Yeah, Sting's pretty, well, obviously Sting's a very talented guy, so kind of like Bowie, I guess, good in music and movies. And
Oh, Bowie was just something else entirely, though.
Bowie, well, he's my favorite all-time male solo artist for sure. Like, he was so incredible.
He's a remarkable person.
Yeah.
Really
Actually,
reinvented himself so regularly.
Like over and over again too. But actually, I just want to mention, guys, if you're Bowie fans at all, I don't know if all of you are or not, but there's a documentary on his life coming out next month around the middle of September called Moon Age Daydream. There's trailers for it on here or on YouTube if you guys want to check it out, and it looks like it's going to be actually an incredible film because, as I say, it's a documentary, and apparently the director had permission from the estate to go into the vaults, the Bowie archives, and gather all the material, like the concert footage, the interviews, all kinds of stuff. And he spent 5 years working on this film, putting it together. And it looks absolutely incredible. Like the trailer just blew my mind when I saw it the first time.
Sorry,
so
my cat is
check it
attacking my laptop.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take over the conversation.
No, it's
not
okay.
at all.
I was just complaining about my cat. My cat Lana is rubbing all over my laptop. Her
Lana.
Hello, kitty.
Well, if Jill suddenly disappears, we'll know what happened. The cat will have sabotaged the laptop.
Who is Lana named for?
From Archer.
Yay!
Oh, how funny. I don't know Archer, so I would have gone Lang. I would have gone Turner. I would have gone so many other Lanas.
Yeah, Archer. Is that an animated series?
It is.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I thought I'd heard of that before. Okay.
That's it, Jill. We have to do an Archer podcast.
Well,
Archer are us.
Sure.
Danger Zone and Archer.
Well, see, no, you know what? I have to see James Bond first before I actually understand Archer.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to watch a lot of James Bond.
Well, I
still
gotta watch
haven't
a
seen
little bit
James
of
Bond?
it.
Just
I
saying.
haven't
They'll
seen
tell
any
you
of
you
it.
have to watch it all. You don't have to watch a lot of James Bond to get it.
Okay.
Well,
No,
it
I
is
do. I get it anyway. It's so great.
is a formula,
it's a
but
wonderful show, and
it's a formula that
understand it.
works.
It's definitely a formula, and the visuals are pretty striking.
I mean, I love Archer, and I love that episode from Deep Space Nine where Bashir is it has his own James Bond episode. So I know I'm probably going to
come on,
like.
guys.
I remember that
Which
now.
Bond movie is it that Ursula Andress rises out of the sea? Okay,
Nope, Dr.
watch
No.
No, Dr. No.
Watch Dr. No.
This is the
And
second
then
time I've been
buzzers.
told to watch that first.
And then after you watch Dr. No, watch Casino Royale, the one with James Blonde.
Daniel Craig.
Yes, Daniel Craig. And
Yeah,
then
I
you're
like
done.
Daniel Craig. I
And
thought
then
he
you
was
can
a
watch
good
any
Bond.
ones that you want, but those two will give you a good education.
And also I need to finish Top Gun, and then I'll be good for an Archer podcast.
For the Danger Zone, yes, you got to go. You got to know who Kenny Loggins is to fully appreciate the Archer.
Yeah.
Do you though?
No,
Just
not
the
Yes,
really.
I
song.
do.
Just the one song is all you need
Yeah.
to know for that.
I would say,
No,
Joe,
it's
though,
not from Caddyshack. I'm all right.
Kenny. That's a great song too. That's on my playlist.
I'm all right.
Was
Don't
that Loggins
forget
though, or was
Caddyshack.
that
That was-
Loggins and Messina?
Caddyshack. I
I
like
was
that.
Loggins.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, since
Oh.
there was no pop culture, breakdown last Sunday, Caddyshack's still the movie for this Sunday for Doomcock, right?
Oh wow.
Caddyshack is a classic.
Yeah, because they do a retrospective.
It's hilarious.
The Go for Dancing.
Well, I mean, was that the film that Rodney Dangerfield was in that, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it is.
hopefully. Was that the movie that kind of launched him back into the spotlight?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Well, that
Because he had a
it was
string
his
of movies
first
after
movie.
that, didn't he?
Well, Bill Murray was in that movie too. So
Yeah.
it transcends
And Chevy.
a lot of generations.
Yeah.
And Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase, yeah. And a very sort of wonky, should I say, looking golfer.
Oh, he's a hand puppet. Cut him a break.
Yeah, but he was great.
He's a Muppet.
He is a Muppet.
That was so funny. It made me laugh. I laughed so hard when I saw that movie the first time. And of course, Dangerfield's, one-liners. I mean, geez. All through every scene he was in. Anyway, I'm rambling again. Sorry.
Oh no, that's
Jill,
okay.
Have you
Go
seen
ahead.
Caddyshack, Jill?
I think so.
Okay.
And I have not.
It revolves around a golf course.
I've only seen dribs and drabs, but I get.
I don't. Yeah,
the
I don't know
zeitgeist.
that I've actually watched it. But I think I've
I
experienced.
definitely
it
recommend it
somehow.
if you haven't seen it. It's definitely worth seeing. It's a pretty darn solid comedy for sure.
Mhm. Cool.
And Rodney
It sounds
Dangerfield
like
did
it.
some
I
other-
actually know a lot of those names. So
No, Rodney Dangerfield did some other movies that were quite a bit of fun too. I can't remember the name of it, but there was one where he was, was it Back to School? Yeah, I think that was the title where he went.
I saw
had to
that
go-
one on the television recently. Now that one I actually watched from beginning to end.
Yeah, he had to go back to university for some reason, which I forget now. But it was pretty entertaining. I thought too, that one.
Mhm.
Rodney was pretty funny. though.
All those Dangerfield movies are kind of much of a muchness.
Yeah, he
Well,
did he had his shtick and he kind of stuck with it, but it worked. I mean, he
That
was
was
a
also-
They
funny
were
guy. so-
hugely popular, very successful
Yeah.
films.
he also
He-
did an
he was
animated movie that I liked when I was a kid.
What was that?
What was
Oh,
that?
I
Jim?
have no idea what it's called, but it was a kids
Tell us
movie.
about it, and we'll think of the title.
Yeah,
for you.
tell us the storyline then.
Oh my god, I don't remember the storyline. It was Rodney Dangerfield as a cartoon character.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't he a
That's all I remember.
dog or something?
Yeah,
Wasn't
he was a dog. You're right. Yeah, he had a
How
tie.
do I know
too.
that? Where is that coming
Mhm.
from? I have no
Okay,
idea.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah,
Wow, Rodney is a dog. Okay,
yeah, he was a dog.
it was good though.
Hi.
And Jill saw it when
Well,
she
I
was
w-
6, and so it's very dear to her still.
So it was good.
Yeah.
Like
was.
me and Lady and the Tramp.
Mhm. Yeah, most of the things I experienced were kid stuff, so that's stuff I remember.
Hmm.
And Anonymous says you can't watch it. There's some 80s boobies in it. What is Anonymous even talking about? Okay, so Cronus says,
We know what boobies look like. So
yeah, I know, right?
we've got them.
Yeah,
So we're
yeah,
not
I've got
impressed.
no problem seeing that.
Yes.
Yeah,
In
nothing
fact,
wrong with
they're
80s
quite
boobies
boring
at
to
all.
me. About a dog. Okay.
I guess that's the title of the film, perhaps.
Oh, is that it? Oh, yeah.
I
Okay.
think that's what he's saying. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're right.
But
Probably. I have
it
no
looks like
idea.
they're all shorts. So I think
No, it's a movie. It's a movie. I recorded it on a VHS, and I don't remember any of it.
Which one?
but it made you happy at the time.
Yeah, it made me happy at the time. Rodney Dangerfield as a dog.
Yes,
It's
that would make anybody happy, I think.
Anyway. What else was Tasha Yar in? Was there anything else, or did you go over all of it?
Oh, she keeps working, but we kind of got to the top of her credits by saying, that she's recently had a run in Suits, a considerable run, as a character in 2019, and then she again is doing, one shots in what look like television
Just
shows.
a whole bunch of shows.
Character, just one
okay.
episode
Just
is
one-
a particular
just
character.
visiting. Yeah.
Well, and then she's also, as any Star Trek legacy character, she was on
Right.
Star Trek Online
And-
as well.
And she's embraced the Star Trek community again, going to conventions. Obviously, she was in my photo cast. So
And of course, the
hanging out with
the
the
movie
fans.
where Rodney Dangerfield is a dog is called Rover Dangerfield. So just
thank
to
you.
settle that. Yes.
Nice.
that's it. That's
course
my,
it is.
That's where all my knowledge about Rodney Dangerfield comes from.
And I know we're not supposed to bring it up, but I will. there has been a recent interview with Denise Crosby, and she has said that she
Sure.
will be in
You
a
can
season.
mention it. I had a feeling it was going to come up.
Yeah, and
Well,
this is
okay.
all I'll speak of it. But she has said that she's coming back for Picard season 3.
Oh, I'm just fearing that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
I
going
know.
to destroy all the old characters.
I know there are people who have seen it all and say it's good, but there's nothing in
Really?
me that can. Well, Robert Meyer Burnett says he's seen it all, and that
They
it's
must.
good.
Oh,
They
You
must
didn't
have.
see his tweet?
Oh my goodness, are they paying him?
Probably.
they
Maybe
must-
he's in it. Who knows?
They must have got an entire new writing staff, though,
I have no
if
idea.
they're actually writing good scripts, because everything I've heard about
No.
Picard so
Well,
far is just
everything
bad.
that's come from Secret Hideout has been bad from one degree or another, from just somewhat
Yeah.
bad to just completely bad. It's just
Mhm.
all very disrespectful to
Yeah, I've heard
what's
so much
come from the past, so it's very
so much
difficult to
bad
believe.
reviews. Yeah, it's just,
Well, and they did say that there are, and I heard from Robert Meyer Burnett that it was a brand new showrunner with very little
apparently,
involvement.
yeah,
from
I remember
the
him
previous
saying
two.
that too.
But
And
I
I
thought
don't-
that he wrote the first 3 episodes of the second season that I didn't like.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh,
So
I
I
didn't hear
don't
that.
really know.
Okay.
I don't really know how this is going to work, but
I'm not expecting anything, but then again, with
Right.
expectations so low, perhaps it can impress me.
yeah, but
Perhaps.
even if
Yeah.
it does, the problem is it's for me. It ends up, even if it's good, it ends up supporting all of the terribleness that came before,
Yeah,
and that will
exactly.
come after.
Yeah, I just can't support anything to do with what's already been done before. You know,
I've
these
said
people
it-
I just won't. I just can't support what they produce. You know.
Oh, Kronos is going. Bye bye, Kronos.
See
Yes.
you, Kronos.
Bye,
Bye,
Kronos.
Kronos.
Thank you for hanging out with us today. You got to get food. Yeah. We've all got to eat. Geeks and nerds got to eat too.
I appreciate anything to do with deriding poor product or poor stories. But just like every other Star Trek fan, all I want is good Star Trek.
Me too.
And
Yeah.
so if they
Great.
do end up making something that is good, I'm not going to get angry at it because of the rest of the shit. Or filth, pardon me. I lost my filter for a moment. But the rest of the
fine.
filth.
Yeah,
I can't watch it all, and I haven't started to watch Picard because of what I've
Don't.
heard.
Well,
And I won't. I'm not impressed by work that perverts or deconstructs what's gone before.
and that's
Yeah.
what it does.
I
And
Exactly.
believe you.
R&B also says that season 3 erases 1 and 2, so no matter what, you don't need those
Yeah,
two.
but I'm still not going to sign up and give them my money. It's just like
yeah,
it's
no,
not gonna
I
happen.
agree. That
It's
is
not
gonna
the
happen.
right way to go.
And I understand that perspective as well, but unfortunately here in Canada, it's just on TV. I don't have to get Paramount Plus or anything like that.
It's on TV,
yeah.
not where I live.
Oh, no, I'm on CTV Sci-Fi.
CTV Sci-Fi. I don't have that channel.
Oh, I mean, you're in British Columbia.
That's
I'm in
correct, yeah.
Ontario, so it's it may just be that it's
Yeah,
not
I
on
mean,
there, but all new
are-
episodes. Like I just watched the first episode of Lower Decks.
Yeah,
Again,
I don't have that channel.
just want-
Are you on Shaw or Rogers?
No, I'm on Kojiko.
Oh, well, that's probably it
Yeah,
then.
you're
See, I'm on
watching
Shaw. Shaw
But
is
my
like the
parents-
dominant.
My parents
Dominant.
have Bell, and they have CTV.
Yeah, we
Sci-Fi
don't
as well.
have Bell out here either. We've got
Oh, okay.
basically we've got Shaw and TELUS
That's what
are the
it
two
is.
companies that you can get programming through. And if they're not
PvP
carrying those channels, then it's like I'm out of luck, I guess.
PvP will be joining me on my new podcast, Canadian Cable Packages, and
Yeah, boy, I could talk for hours about that. Canadian cable is just
Well,
I
actually,
won't
it's
use any,
fascinating to me. I don't know.
I won't use any
about it.
curse words, but I'm tempted to. Let's just say that much about Canadian cable companies.
oh, agreed.
Overpriced.
Oh, Raymond, what is it?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bail. I've got some chores I gotta do, and then
Okay.
tonight.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you for joining
Thanks
us.
for-
And
yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
we'll see you. I'll see you later tonight.
Yeah.
Doomcock stream.
Yep.
Oh, actually, I've got a dinner with friends tonight, so I'll be late.
Yeah, I
So
will
I'll
be
prob-
late
I
too,
might
'cause
miss you.
I've got to go to a company dinner. My boss is throwing a party for us
Ooh.
at her home.
That's fun.
Yeah, well, we had
Very nice.
we had a long-term employee retire about a month back, and he's going to be there too, and it's going to be kind of a, just a general party, retirement party for him,
that's very
kind of
swell.
thing. So yeah,
That's
so
great.
I'm gonna pop over there. I got to head there in about 5 hours, I guess, from now. So yeah, I'll probably be there for, put in an appearance for a couple hours at least, and so it'll probably be like, 7:30, 8 o'clock my time here in
Yeah,
Pacific.
I'll be in that chat a little late too.
Yeah,
So
that'll
I'll
be
see you
around.
later. Hopefully see
Yeah,
you
I'll
later.
be around when I
And
get there.
Take care, Scotty. Bye, Type of Good
Cheers.
Stripes.
bye. Have a good
Yeah,
day.
have a good day.
Bye.
Take care, Pleasant Valley.
Yeah.
Say hi to the
Bye.
ferrets.
Oh, I will. And Snoopy.
Bye-bye.
Snoopy.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, I found a kind of a wonderful quote from Denise Crosby. May I read it? It's a little long, but not too.
Sure.
Yes, you may.
I'd like to hear
Okay,
it.
this is about the documentary Trekkies that Donovan mentioned earlier. And the interviewer says to her, "How do you feel about concerns the doc could be making fun of Star Trek fans?" And she replied, "It was not the intention to make fun of anyone, quite the opposite. What gave me the idea to do this was that I had been going to conventions for about 8 or 9 years by that point, and I was struck by the depth of what this show meant in people's lives, but also the relationships and friendships and charitable intentions and the social messages and social justice that people got involved in. And that was all gleaned from this kind of inherent utopian vision of the future. And they were trying to emulate this in their lives. So when I would watch the media try to talk about Star Trek fans and Trekkies, it was always with a sort of note of derision. It was very easy for the newscasters on the 11 o'clock news to say, "Oh, everybody get your Spock ears out and join us in Pasadena for a Star Trek convention." And they kind of snicker, having never gone to themselves to any convention, by the way. So I knew that there was so much more to this, and the only way to really capture what I was seeing was to turn the cameras on the fans themselves and let the public in on who these people are and what it's like at a convention.
Absolutely, and
So
that's
that's
one of
lovely. That's
and that's
beautifully said.
and
Very
with
well said.
Trekkies
Yeah.
1 and Trekkies 2, it's part of the reason why I do have sort of that sense of defending Denise Crosby and justifying the legacy of the character of Tasha Yar, is because those two movies really are not derisions. They don't mock Star Trek fans. It actually does celebrate the fandom in a more cohesive way, and it's almost romantic to look back at those times, again, 97 and 2001, as not being a divided fan base, but definitely at the height of it. Like,
Yeah. Geez, I think I'd
one
hate
of
to
the
go
most
to a
unifying
convention
Go
and
now.
watch
welcoming
them now.
groups.
I'm going to definitely seek it out.
Yeah, I've got to see those. Boy, those sound really good, Scotty. Jeez. Wow. But yeah, I think what Denise
Yeah,
said there was
she finally
very,
got it.
very
She finally
sweet and
got it.
heartfelt. I mean, I'm
That's
impressed.
wonderful.
I'm impressed by what she said there. Gosh, she
It-
does get it, you know. Like,
yeah. Maybe she didn't get it when she was playing the role, but
she probably didn't
in
back
the-
then.
in
She
those-
probably didn't appreciate it, what she had. Like, we've all made those mistakes in life where we've got something, you know, that's, you know, something good if we had stayed with it, and when we didn't stay with it, and you know, years later you look back and you go, "Gee, I really messed that up." You know, I think that's happened to just about everybody.
Of life, the paths not taken.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it. So many paths we
Bye,
could take
Dalek.
every day.
Dalek heading out to go have his dinner. He'll still be listening, he says.
Yeah, even if it took her a while, it's nice to know that she did understand that Star Trek is an inspiration for a lot of people on
Yeah,
how
she
to
figured it out,
live
yeah.
and
It really
what
is
we can become.
It really is amazing, though, how it has inspired so many millions of people for generations now. It's a remarkable, you know, entity, Star Trek, really.
Absolutely. And yeah, and she well, I have to rewatch that documentary, and I probably should have watched it for this to see how her perceptions have changed.
Oh, I don't mean to put things on your list.
And my list. No,
the list is
fine.
life.
The list grows.
This is it'll probably be my favorite thing of hers.
The list is miles long by now, Angel.
It is. So I have to make priorities. So my problem is I need to collate the list into an Excel or a database.
Yeah, and then you can
and then I can order
prioritize
them.
everything.
Yeah, I got it. I have to have priorities.
And then
Star Trek stuff will definitely be pretty high.
And just to add to the list of books, because I know how much you're looking forward to reading
Yes,
all
I
of the
love
Star
books
Trek
too.
books.
I am.
The novelization of All Good Things, adapted from the episode written by Michael Jan Friedman, was there's a scene at the very beginning of the episode, or of the novelization, where Tasha is talking to Lieutenant Ben Prieto. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Prieto. And there's a scene at the very beginning of that episode of the novelization where she's interacting with the pilot, who is the pilot of the shuttle that crashes in Skin of Evil, and she does say, "Ben, you're going to be the death of me someday."
Oh,
Which
geez.
is exactly what happens in terms of the references, and it's the little details like that in the
Wow.
novelizations and Star Trek novels that I really enjoy, because they are the references that detail-oriented Star Trek fans really get excited for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these people who made all these Star Trek novels are the people who should be writing Star Trek today.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Totally.
Instead, they
Yeah.
swept it away as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. It's frustrating.
That would have been great to see, Stitch in Time from Deep Space Nine made into something with Garrick.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's too bad they never made any Deep Space Nine movies, really. I think
Mhm.
they could have been really great if they had.
And goodbye in the chat to Gap After Dark and King Dolphin TV. Here's his channel. Let's make some waves on Sunday in Just Cuz. Yeah, so he's having his Just Cuz on Sunday instead of Saturday, so don't go look for it tomorrow. It'll be on Sunday at 4 p.m. Central Time at King Dolphin TV, youtube.com.
Fantastic.
And
I just wanted to ask Joe, you're starting at 9 a.m. Central Time, or my time?
for what?
11.
Oh, yeah. 11 Central. That's probably 9 for you.
That'd be
Yeah,
9 here then.
I'm
Yeah,
picking
okay, I
you,
got
getting you
mixed
up.
up for a second there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to double check.
Yeah, you're pretty much my only customer to come.
I don't
watch
want to.
Deep
Well, I
Space
don't want to
Nine,
miss
so-
it because I really want to see those episodes
And
again.
unless Hungry Boy is awake,
I
unless
may
he's awake.
show
in
up.
the middle of the night.
Well,
Oh
Tyler
yeah,
Stripes will be
oh
there.
yeah, that'd be great if you're
I'm
there
going
too.
to give it a shot.
Mhm.
I want to watch him, and it's good company.
It's fun
Right.
having watch parties together. Like it
I think
just
so
makes
too.
it so much more fun because we can do the side chat thing. Make comments. Observations back and forth while we watch, because I haven't seen Deep Space Nine in so long. It's like watching it for the first time again. A lot of it
It's
really.
been a really long time for me too.
Yeah, it's been years and years, like years.
Well,
and
it
years.
would. Go ahead.
Well, we used to have a local channel that was all Trek all night. It's still there, but for some reason they flipped stations, and now we can't receive it anymore. It's kind of driving me. It makes me sad. 'Cause I
That
would
sucks.
be watching because there's nothing else on.
Yeah,
And
Okay.
I would be rewatching them. I absolutely would, but the antenna's not picking it up anymore, and it
Oh,
used
geez.
to. Yeah, it makes me crazy. What are you going to do?
Wow.
Well, and the Circle
Yeah,
trilogy is a great
sometimes,
one to sit in marathon too.
Yes, and we'll be doing that tomorrow.
We'll be doing 4 episodes, I guess,
yes,
tomorrow. Yeah.
and
Oh my goodness,
she bit me. She wants lunch.
that's a naughty kitty. Bad Lana.
That's my fault.
Uh,
Yeah, if anybody wants to join that, I'll be posting the link to the watch party on my Twitter. I don't do the YouTube thing where you put the link in the YouTube, even though that
yeah.
creates
I
more
don't have.
reach.
I don't
It's
have
kind
Twitter,
of weird.
but I don't have Twitter, but I still have the link from the last time in my email, so that should work, right, Jill?
Yes, that will work.
Yeah. Okay, I'm good to go then.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking
I
of,
have one more quote from Denise Crosby, which is kind of interesting. It's
Okay.
from the same interview that the other one was from that was so good. And the interviewer says, "Have you kept up with the new shows? Like there is an animated comedy bringing back a lot of classic characters." And she replied, "Just a little bit. I don't follow it fully enough. I know that some people reached out to me with Lower Decks and they were talking about Armus and brought him back, and people were really thrilled about that to get some righteous justice with him." So that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I haven't seen.
Nor
all
have
of
I.
season 2,
I haven't seen
but
any
if
of Lower
Scotty's
Decks,
watching
but it
season 3,
sounds
I gotta
like they
just
kind of
watch it.
paid some dues for her character in that show.
Interesting.
It's funny.
Well, and that's the intention, is that it is sort of played for laughs. There is something insipid about Lower Decks because it does
Yes.
take things that have been weighty and it turns them into
Yeah,
punchlines.
I've
So
heard
they
a lot of
do
negative
that.
reviews about it, actually.
Hmm.
If you're in it for the references, then Lower Decks is fine. If you're actually looking for Star Trek, look elsewhere.
Right.
Mm.
Right. Yeah. The reason I stopped watching it is because one episode I saw was half Star Trek and half derision,
Hmm.
and so
Oh, jeez.
the balance of that wasn't there for me. It was stark, but maybe
Well,
we'll
yeah,
see.
and it's kind
Yeah,
of it's
jeez.
frustrating just because you have something like the Orville being referenced as more Star Trek than Star Trek, and in
And
the
it
beginning it
is.
was a comedy, like it leaned closer to the comedy, and then you actually have a Star Trek comedy, and it's like you can't even be the Orville, you animated thing.
Hmm. Right. And
Look, it's Donnie Pearson.
hi, Donnie
Donnie,
Pearson.
are you
But
at the
Donnie!
convention, Donnie? That's the question.
whoa, okay. Oh my goodness, this is the second day of the 56-year mission in Las Vegas. Yes, are you there, Donnie? That's great. You are. I was there for the 50th and the
Ooh,
51st, which was also the 25th. That's why I went again, because it was 25th for TNG.
Mm.
I was like, I got to go back because for the 50th, Patrick Stewart wasn't there, and so I was like, hey, now he's gonna be there, so we're gonna go again. And my family's like, okay, we're gonna go again, and then yeah, so that was fun.
What was the name of that drink that you had when you went to the 50th?
They had Romulan ale, and they also had Ractigino, but
Romulan ale,
both
Ractigino?
spiked. Oh, and they had a.
didn't they have something called BioShock or something?
Or Supernova? I
It
don't
sounded
know.
like
Oh,
Biohazard to me, but
no,
I don't think
Warp
it
Core
was
Breach.
Bio.
Okay,
Warp
so
Core
that one,
Warp
Breach.
Core Breach.
it was a Warp Core Breach,
Yeah.
and it wasn't the bar. The bar
With the
didn't
dry
make that.
ice. It
The
sounds
magic
wonderful.
of that was that it came directly from the fans. The fans made it themselves, and they
Oh,
brought
cool.
it to a dance
That's so
party.
Wow.
terrifying.
Oh, jeez.
They
Oh,
brought
Well,
it
that
cool.
was
to the
powerful
lamest.
stuff.
Yeah, they brought it to the lamest dance party in the world, and they just made it so much fun because we just sat around the table and talked
That
for
does sound like
hours,
fun.
and
That sounds
it
cool.
was just like
It's like if
here,
you have a couple of
but
those, you
in
might
real life.
actually feel like dancing, even when the music's lame.
Hmm. Yes,
Yeah,
That's
that
good.
sounds like a
says
good time, boy.
Season
was.
3 of Lower Decks started strong. Yeah, it's all right.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I take Bird Prey 5's opinion pretty seriously, so
Okay.
I'm just gonna have to watch all of season 2 just so I'm up to speed, and then I'll watch that. I know I'm gonna have problems. I know I'm gonna have problems, but we'll see. And Donnie says, speaking of conventions, 4.75 hours more until Power Morphicon. Okay, so he's just he might just be a fan of the conventions occurring. I don't know if he's going to any. And he's got some art. Dalek451 says, only seen one episode of Lower Decks. That was more than enough. Typical, stupid, obnoxious millennial trash.
Oh, don't hold back, Dalek. Tell us what you really feel.
Ha ha.
I try not to bash millennials, so because there's nice people that are millennials. I
No,
mean,
see, the funny thing is about that is Dalek is a millennial.
Oh, okay. So now I get the joke. Okay. Oh boy.
Dalek says, not to mention the animation I'd call
Cal
typical Cal Arts garbage. I hate how Western animation has become so uniform. Everything looks the same with those stupid oval mouths. I think I know what you're saying. Like, they used to draw, like, for the animated series of Star Trek, they drew the characters as they appeared on screen. Maybe it wasn't the best animation in the world, but it was beautiful to me because they actually tried to realistically portray them.
It worked. It was simple, but it worked.
Yeah, now
Filmation.
they don't. Filmation.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the, because the animated series is one of those shows that sort of went under the radar, and so it's fun to go and see on Pop Culture Curator's channel and watch along with you guys as well.
Mm-hmm.
One of our planets is missing.
No, see, I'm not excited about watching Lower Decks, but
no, nor am I. I don't have any intention. I just read the quote because I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, but I think leaving this discussion on her Trekkies documentary is a good thing.
Yes.
because here's my alarm that I should probably wrap up the show. I'm sorry.
There
I
you
can't
go.
stop
Oh,
it.
okay.
I can't
Oh,
stop it for some
let's listen
reason.
to the alarm. It's so
I
musical.
can't stop it.
It
I
sounds
like
like an
it.
ice cream
It's a
truck
Vulcan
just drove
loot.
into your room there, Joe.
Okay. Where was I? Yeah,
Okay,
right. Okay,
Well, you
so
were
so
wrapping it up.
wrap
yes,
up
I
time.
am. Okay, so I didn't even know about this documentary. I'm gonna go check it out. It's
I've
something.
seen it go by again and again, and I always thought
Where
it would
did you see it?
be satirical. On all the various streaming platforms. I think I've
Okay.
seen it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I have Hulu.
Yeah, I might have had a different opinion on her if I'd seen that. So we'll check it out.
I didn't
Hmm.
realize she was involved. So
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wait. Let's see. There are clips and scenes of Trekkies on YouTube. I don't know if it has the full documentary, but I think it was on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. So I'd like to thank everybody in the chat for joining us today.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of great chat here. An incredible amount of chat. I can't even normally I can like scroll up all the way to the top and be like, oh well, first we
you've
had
been
gorillas.
keeping up with it pretty much.
Well, I
Mm-hmm.
know, but at the end, I
Yeah,
like
I'm just
to.
taking a look here on YouTube, and boy, there is a lot of chat there today.
There's an
Wow.
incredible amount of chat. I had Gorilla's random thoughts, and he has a great channel.
I think you spent half the stream
Mega
answering
Popper.
the chat, actually, Jill, today.
Yeah, Matt G, and even Mr. Brown Alliance, which is a fairly big YouTuber to me, even though I know he's a small YouTuber, but he's a big deal to me. And there's Paul Vita
Captain
Gamer.
Spock's having a drink. He's offering
Captain
a
Yeah,
Time
toast.
Lord.
right. You're
Rennie
right. He
was
offers
here.
a
That was
toast.
great.
Yeah,
Berta Cray,
Rennie
always a
was
pleasure.
and pop culture curator Brian Hepburn. Kronos was a huge contributor to the chat today, as were a
Absolutely.
lot of people.
Yes, he was.
And he's gone off to eat. And we had Son of a Red Shirt for a bit. Hopefully everything's going well with Son of a Red Shirt. I'm always interested to see him around.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cam Cam.
Cam.
Cam is just fun to say. What a great name.
Yes.
And yeah, and Lenrod was also here. He's a musician. And Nerd Pearl Life Form, who has a great
Chronic
channel.
lawnmower. It's just
Oh
never
yeah,
stops.
Lenrod is a chronic lawnmower. He mows lawn every week,
Yes, every day.
every
Don't
day.
forget to save that Toad story.
Oh right,
I
save
do.
that Toad story for next week. Just save it until you can be back on King Dolphin's channel. And Nerdpora Lifeform just released his second retrospective for The Legend of Zelda: The Ocarina of Time, so it's going to be a trilogy.
Yeah.
That's going to be super cool once it's all put together. And then Bird of Prey 5 was here. Today's Friday, so there's a bed life, if I'm not mistaken. So he'll have a bed life where he'll talk about a whole variety of topics, play Wordle, and he'll probably talk about lower decks too. I don't know, or something else. He can talk about the news also. He talks about anything that he likes with the chat. He's very interactive with the chat and acknowledges everyone. And yeah, he's one of the ones where I learned to do that from Doomcock, from Clobberin Times, and from Bird Prey 5, all my heroes on YouTube. And you do that too, Scotty. Even though you wait to the end of your show to do it, you definitely acknowledge your chat. And that's great.
Oh yeah, it's so fun to hang out with the community and talk about, like we do the Quentin Tarantino Wednesdays show with Bullets, Blades, and Babes, and we've covered all the James Bond movies. But it does get a little frustrating for the chat because they do have to wait until the end. We like to cover it,
and it's going to be
then
frustrating for me when I do that show with you. And we're just going to do the show first, and I've got to pretend the chat's not there until we're done with
No,
the show.
we can figure it out. We can do it. We can spice it up.
Oh no, I want to stick with your format of your channel.
All right.
It's your thing, so I want to do your thing. So then, DJ Ronnie was here.
Oh no. Right. That. Oh, and I forgot about the tucked in turtle. Thank you, DJ Ronnie G.
Oh, there's
Oh.
my second alarm.
Oh, it really is
Spock,
time to
stop.
go now.
Are you
Mhm.
going to play row, row, row your boat?
Oh, Jill, can I mention
Yes.
one thing
Oh,
before it's time
absolutely.
to leave?
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention, unfortunately, we were going to watch those Uncle episodes last
Yeah.
Wednesday, and then
Mhm.
due to technical difficulties with the darn website that I was going to use to stream them, it was down, I guess, for maintenance, or it crashed for some reason. So I guess Wednesday evenings are the best time still.
Yeah, those are still the
for
best
that.
time. And so so Man from Uncle is pretty high on my list because
Yeah, I was
it
really
has Star
hoping to
Trek
watch
actors.
a couple episodes with you, on Wednesday evening, but
And
unfortunately,
so
of course, it didn't
yeah,
happen. But so
yeah, that
I'm
might be
just
cool.
yeah. So if Wednesday evening is still the best, I was just gonna mention to Tiger Stripes and Scotty if they want to join in.
Yeah, Scotty's got his own Man from Uncle
Oh,
briefcase set that he bought
okay.
live on air on one of my Friday streams.
Yeah, so
Where I was
I'm
celebrating
not
my
sure how
200th
to send
anniversary, so probably.
invitations to everybody. I was just wondering how I would do that if anybody wants to join in my watch room.
Mhm. Okay. Well, we'll figure that out later.
Yeah, okay. But
And
anyway, I was just going to say I don't know what time it'll be because I might be working till 8 o'clock Pacific time, so it might be like a somewhat late start, maybe around 10:30 your time,
oh yeah,
something
that'll
like
be
that.
fine.
So, but hopefully we can still get a couple episodes in, so that would be good.
Sure.
Cardinal Sin, where'd he come from?
Oh, well, he
Well,
was here.
he was there a while ago
Ah,
when we were talking about Futurama.
oh, that was before I tucked in, I think.
That was quite some time ago.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, though, I just wanted to mention it, so hopefully we can, watch the first couple episodes.
Yeah, and Cardinal
on
Sin was
Wednesday.
here. Yeah, he was here for a little bit, and that was great. Cardinal Sin has a wonderful channel. Please subscribe to Cardinal Sin, and and check out his channel. I know I should be putting channel links and stuff, and I'm not doing that or anything.
Well, people can find it. Should
Yeah.
they?
Well, I think
Should they
most of
look?
us probably are sub to each other's channels.
Yeah, I
now,
know
anyway.
that, but you never know. You never
There
know.
could be a newbie, I guess, though.
There
Yeah,
could be.
that's true.
I did have a couple of new people in my chat today,
Yeah.
which was
Oh,
really great to
okay.
see. Yeah,
Maybe
well, I'd never
maybe-
seen Boy Wonder before, or maybe I have, and I just don't
Great
remember.
name.
But yeah, it was a great name. That's why I remember.
Maybe put
Gap
the links.
After Dark. He's new to me, or she.
Oh yeah, I know Gap After Dark.
Ah.
Yeah, he's a mod on Cardinal Sin's channel.
Ah.
Maybe
He used
just
to be
post
Gap Stargate.
Post some of the links just under the video here on on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I always do that.
Yeah, so they can find them that way then if they really.
Yeah, check
wanna
the
look.
description later. But I do like to do it live if I can.
Yeah. Oh well, it was very
Oh,
busy.
Herc130 was here, and I didn't acknowledge him
Oh.
at all. Hi,
Oh.
Herc130.
Hmm.
Sorry I missed you. But I see
and
him
then-
around a lot. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, and then Todd Michael and Captain Time Lord and Mega Cropper, always keeping me on my toes.
Captain Time
Tuvix
Lord's
was
box.
murdered.
He was, but he was also an abomination.
He was against the laws of God and man.
Yeah. But thank you for being here, Captain Time Lord Spock. Your comments are always welcome and encouraging.
Commander Ed Straker of SHADO.
Yeah, that was
that
cool to see that. What an awesome name.
NYPD Blue, and he also said there is no cannibalism in the Royal Navy, which is terrifying. So I don't know what that means. However,
Was that a Monty Python reference actually?
I don't know.
I remember
recognize
they
it as
had a
such.
skit once to do with the Royal Navy, and I think they might have mentioned cannibalism in it.
Ah.
I think that might be a Monty Python reference.
Well, there's
but
so much Monty Python.
Yeah, but I can't remember what episode or what season it was. But I think that I do remember something like that. Yeah, for sure. Oh boy.
And Dalek451 was here. Thank you for checking us out.
Hey, Dalek.
Great friend.
Yeah, Dalek often pops into the panel.
And he's been having more streams lately on his channel. So I'll put his...
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he's been having more random streams. That's really great. Always great to have a good
Matt
place to hang out.
G.
Yeah, Matt G was here.
Matt G.
Always with the bacon and the pizza and the Captain was also contributing.
Bacon is good on pizza.
Now, are those regular steaks or are those people steaks?
Well, they look very rare.
Wow.
I checked that and I could not confirm that. So I'm just going to put that out there. That is a rumor. I could not confirm that at all.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that either, but I do
Yeah,
remember.
I never heard
mentioned-
that one before.
As
Yeah.
I mentioned before, I did see a thing on YouTube where it was a cast reunion and she was present, and it looked like she was rather hippie, enjoying the devil's lettuce.
Oh yeah, I remember you told me about that. I forgot about that story where she looked like she was just having a fun day.
Yeah,
As should we all now and then.
Sure.
agreed.
Hello hello to. Thank you for being here, Anonymous.
Thanks, Anonymous.
Yeah, Anonymous has been on my panel before. He's really great.
Mhm.
He has a channel too where he does edited content.
And I want to say
And
too, that
lots of
she
chronos
really,
here.
her credits show that she just keeps plugging away and working multiple times every year. And a person with that sort of reputation would not continue to work like that, I believe. Hollywood can be a very small
Oh,
place.
hi, Donnie Pearson. I didn't see that comment before. I wasn't watching the chat today.
Yeah, Donnie Pearson showed up here just recently. And speaking of Star Trek, yeah, so
I have to agree with Tiger
Um,
Stripes, though. I mean,
yeah, check out-
anybody that had a
check out
reputation for being that difficult
Wouldn't
wouldn't be
continue
working.
to work that much.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
she's worked a lot. I
Yeah.
mean,
So
I was
that's
surprised to
Good.
hear how much she's actually done in the over the
Mhm.
decades. Like, wow.
She
when you
stuck
go to
with
the
it.
IMDb, she's been plugging along.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
got to give her credit. You know, she's a
Absolutely.
professional.
I'd
Right?
Yeah.
take her. I'd take it. I'd take that.
Yeah.
credit.
Right.
Yeah.
She did get work. That's good.
Mm-hmm. 3 episodes of Diagnosis Murder. You can't be difficult and work with Dick Van Dyke.
I concur.
Yeah, Dick Van Dyke seems like a pretty nice fellow.
Bird of
What's
Prey
more, if
5
you're-
is saying that I could skip all of season 2 except for the last episode in order to watch season 3 if I wanted.
True.
If I wanted to torture myself and watch Lower
Yeah.
Decks. Normally I just watch Bird of Prey 5's reviews. I haven't made my decision yet. Yes. You're welcome, Bird of Prey 5. I said something nice earlier, I guess.
Well, you just did again.
Yeah, I did. Captain Time Lord Spock says, I arbitrarily miss chats for shits and gigs. They're so entitled.
I do not understand that at all. I don't
No,
know.
well, I don't know. Maybe he's
I'm
he's
trying
saying
to
that's
follow
what
you,
I'm
but-
saying, but no, I don't do that. I'm just not as good as you, Captain. I could never be. And sub to Scotty R37 and friends at youtube.com/phantasmagorium show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we're being apocryphal on September 8th, and that's when the Quantum Leap show, the review
Yeah,
show is,
on Star Trek Day.
on
with-
Star Trek Day.
But
Star
you know,
Trek Day with Scott Bakula,
It's
but
not-
watching.
not watching Enterprise. But
Yeah.
who's to say that Captain Archer is not really Sam Beckett going through another skip?
That is very true. Well, if and I'm sorry, Jill. I know I said I would be able to stick around, but I know you've got a kitten eating you,
Yeah.
and I've got a puppy wanting
yeah.
to go and
Yeah,
take
and
a
I
gotta
walk
go.
outside.
Yeah, well, we'll chat later.
Sounds good.
And-
Sounds good.
Yeah, and I think
Okay.
I'm through with the chat now.
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess we're
And
about done.
yeah, I think we're done. And I think we did. We talked about Yar's career pretty well. And does anybody have anything they'd like to say before we go?
I just want to remind you, Jill, if you can, please attend on Wednesday.
Okay.
Don't forget,
Okay.
like you did last time.
Well, what about you, Tiger Stripes?
Yeah, Tiger Stripes.
I don't know yet. We'll
If I knew
see.
how to send an invite, I would, but I'm
Okay.
not sure how to do it yet because I'm
That's not
still
something we
kind
would
of
talk
new to
about
all
right
that stuff.
here.
so.
Okay, but we've got to follow Snoopy's lead, and everybody have a wonderful, fantastic day, a great Friday,
Yeah.
I'll be available to chat with Doomcock's Friday Night Frolics later tonight. And if you
Yeah,
Forget
I'll probably pop on
Clobbering Time
Doomcox
Star
as
Trek
well.
Saturday night on Saturday night.
yeah, and
Yeah, I'm
Clobbering
looking
Times
forward to
on
tomorrow.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the
And-
live stream,
I-
Jill.
You're
Yeah, it
welcome.
was nice, Jill. Thanks for
Hostess with
having
the
us.
mostess.
Thank
True
you,
story.
and thank you guys for joining me. It always makes things much richer when the panel can add
Can,
to
can diverge.
You're very welcome. Yeah, I
well,
love
you know
being
what?
on the
A lot
panel.
of times the divergence is a lot of fun, and I appreciate it.
Yeah,
every
well,
second of
there's
it.
always so many twists and turns to the chat.
Mhm.
You never know what you're going to end up
And-
discussing, so that's always fun.
Right, and so in honor of Clobbering Times stream tomorrow, he always likes to plug his he always likes to announce his first officer's science fiction books, which are a lot Twilight Zone. They actually really are pretty creepy, but they're also really great science fiction that really speaks to me with the ones I've read. And as soon as I've read them all, I'll make a non-spoiler review of it. But for now, we'll end today by looking at her promo for it. So everybody have a great day, and I'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good day and weekend. Bye.
Oh,